Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Harness Tube and Racing at the Macon County Fair for the second day of racing. We're in Decatur, Illinois. Post time for the first race will be 11 o'clock. Steve Surratt, David Brink with you. David finishing up putting the schedule, the race program out for you. I'll throw your microphone up. But race program out there. Kurt Becker will be doing the track announcing. Lisa Surratt, who is the hardest worker in this team, on the other side of the fence. No matter what Kurt Becker says, she doesn't need any more work to do. We just need her to come and do the camera so we don't have to. But we're glad that you're here today and a part of the broadcast. Thankful to our sponsors and those around us that help us put on this. We're going to go to a commercial break right now out of the gate. For those sponsors, we thank them for being on board and being a part of this broadcast. You're listening to Harness Tube on YouTube. We'll be back.
Hello, Earl Flack for your locally owned McKay Napa Auto Parts store. I'm always talking about savings, but why not? We're your local auto parts store. Yeah, I know you got choices, but those box stores, not local. How about some Napa antifreeze on sale for $8.99 for a full extended life? How about Napa full synthetic motor oil? 5-quart jug for $20.99. That's a 61% saving, or $4.49 by the quart. How about some Armor All leather car cleaner protectant, $5.49 for a container? Get the good stuff with Napa know-how.
ADI, located in Golden, is one of North America's largest pattern tiling installers. We've helped farmers create water management systems for over 40 years with pattern tiling across farm fields, generating proven data showing a boost in yield and greater profitability. Changing weather patterns do not have to cost you yield dollars anymore. Start with a free estimate now by calling your local ADI representative, David Lohman, at 309-280-2411 or by visiting our website at agdrainage.com.
Back with you on Harness Tube, Steve Surratt and David Brink with you. We'll get to our side-by-side here. Let's talk about David from the Backstretch. One of our favorite parts of the program is from the Backstretch, and we want to encourage people to email you pictures, text you pictures at the number on the screen, send us messages on YouTube. We enjoy all of those things. Put it on Facebook. You know, any way you want to
tag us or whatever you want to do.
We've got several people that have. We got new, some old pictures here. One of my favorites there, Sour Grapes, watching us on the phone, and then Matt Avanetti watching us from
Wyatt down in Oak Grove. Yeah,
Wyatt from Oak Grove.
The brothers Avanetti. We love everyone kind of chiming in and sending pictures from where they're from. Yesterday we had a couple new ones. You know, if you're following us along, we want to see. There's on the screen now is the Timber Point Healthcare Center in Camp Point, Illinois. Had a watch party a couple broadcasts back and had all their residents picking their favorite horses and they were gambling for pieces of candy, I think, and stuff like that, and having a good time. And it's just, we love hearing from you. We love seeing you. We love sharing this all with you guys because the horse racing community is a community, and we want to keep it, you know, as tight-knit as we possibly can.
Here's some of the new pictures that came in yesterday. I think this is this from the Avanetti barn?
So, no, those are both in the Wilfong barn.
Wilfong,
so,
okay, yeah.
Nicole Wilfong sent those in over there in Indiana. The Wilfongs have a nice stable. They compete at Hawthorne in Chicago and Hoosier over in Anderson, Indiana. We want to thank her for sending these pictures and for watching, you know, from the stable, keeping in tune to the Illinois game. And
then the next picture.
How cool is that? That's Tyler Stevens Clem is down in Oak Grove again. We have another viewer down in Oak Grove. That's a track down kind of close to Nashville. But how cool is that? You know, have a TV set up there in the barn, so you're hanging out doing your work. You know, maybe rubbing your horse, putting some poultice on, glancing over, watching races. We love it.
And so that's going on with what we have going on here at the racetrack. racetrack. But we are glad to be here today and be bringing this to you live from Decatur. Shoot us those memories. Shoot us what's going on out there. You've got a fair memory. What's your favorite fair memory? My favorite is send in on the chat what your favorite fair food is. Mine is cheese curds, and they're getting harder. The true cheese curds that are not the same form. Yeah, the real ones that are the blobs that you get the marinara sauce at the state fair to eat. That's one of my favorite fair foods of all time.
I tell you, last night they had the little horseman feed over here at Decatur, and I don't know who catered it. I didn't quite get that information from the fair board, but we had a nice feed. Good pork chop.
They could have run a pork chop up here to us at lunchtime.
They could have, but there was a red cabbage slaw that had like a raspberry vinaigrette kind of dressing. It was sweet. It was so good.
Absolutely. Fair memories, send that out to us. Memories of harness racing. We've got some that David has that actually were too small and grainy when I spread them out for you to see. But we want you to send us pictures, maybe old pictures of your favorite driver, favorite horse, maybe a family member that's passed. I mean, we have a lot of history in harness racing.
And we know that these stories are floating out there. If you follow along on the Facebook group, the Illinois Harness Horse, or the Illinois County Fair and Horse Racing group, or the other, there's a Balmoral and Maywood Park group, all those kind of old nostalgic groups. I see stories, I see comments, in those comments all the time, or in the groups of people, reminiscing about a certain horse or a certain event or a certain track, and just the replies and comments, and everyone else just gets a big kick out of it. We want to share that on air with you if we can. So if you send them in on our chat, on our Facebook, on our text, anything you got.
Absolutely. We want you to do that. Be a part of our broadcast as we go about things. We'll take another commercial break. We'll be back on Harness Tube on YouTube after these messages.
Yoder Custom Woodworking was started in 1995 by the Yoder family as a retail Amish furniture store in Sullivan, Illinois. They offer custom kitchen cabinets, granite and quartz countertops, built-in office and bathroom cabinetry, and offer a wide range of Amish furniture. Their store is located at 1117 West Jackson Street in Sullivan, Illinois, with store hours Tuesday through Friday 9 to 4:30 and Saturday 9 to 3. For more information, contact Yoder Custom Woodworking at 217-728-2166.
Make plans now to attend the 25th Annual Illini Classic Yearling Sale on Labor Day at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield. Established in 1999, the Illini Classic has been producing champions for a quarter century, including reigning Illinois Divisional Champions On Higher Ground and Scorecard Dandy. It's the Illini Classic Yearling Sale, Monday, September 2nd at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield, beginning at 11 a.m. Central. Come join us and finish the summer strong.
Back with you on Harness Tube, Steve Surratt and David Brink with you on the broadcast today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, or follow us on YouTube and Facebook. Those are so important milestones for us. We reached over 500 subscribers on YouTube. We would like to get to 1,000. There are things that happen for us that make our job a little bit easier as far as dedicated URLs for those that are in computers. That's just your website, so it stays constant.
YouTube helps us, by promoting us in the algorithms and whatnot, but it also scrutinizes us, makes sure we're following all their guidelines and stuff. So we've kind of hit some of those plateaus. We'd like to advance through them because it helps us reach out to cast a broader net, if you will.
And check out on Facebook. David puts a lot of information out there on Facebook. Also, some other site that I want to talk about, and too bad we don't have another mic. Otherwise, we'd put him on the mic. But Kurt Becker does
Horse Talk Today.
Horse Talk Today.
And if you don't follow that on Facebook, that the articles he writes about the fairs, as a summary or as a preview, his knowledge is, I want to get Kurt's writing written down somewhere because what's in his brain might be lost forever, and it's so much, and he writes so well. It could be lost in the
next few days.
Who knows?
Who knows? At his age, he's like me. He doesn't remember what he did yesterday.
But that's why I'm so glad to put these broadcasts out because, we all still listen to Kurt's dad, Carl, make the CAMBEST call at Springfield. All these iconic miles and moments And Kurt's so good with the memorials and knowing the history of the fairs and history of the horsemen. And those stories, get lost at times sometimes. So if we can get them on broadcast, we want to hopefully keep them cemented in history books.
You can also be involved, whether it be a billboard type of ad like you see here for Lohman Ray Insurance. You can be involved like Yoder with a full 30-second commercial. Yep. We produce that commercial for them. We've got some updates we're going to do, make that a little bit cleaner. Or we can take your 30-second commercial, whether it be radio or television, and make that into an ad for us. And that and donors help keep this for free.
There's a drone
on YouTube. And, too bad we can't tie into that drone.
David's ADD brain just saw a flying drone outside of our window here in the judges' stand. I'm not sure if there's if they're scanning the...
He's like an ADA horse. Hey, what?
I'm always glancing at the track.
Yeah.
But we thank you for following along. And if you have a need for an advertisement, like Steve was saying, we can produce those for you. If you are someone who's reached out and has some interest, follow up with us. We can put those together for you with whatever's in your brain, whatever little information you want to share, you want to put out there, whatever. If you have a full script, if you have a couple bullet points, we can take that and put it into a commercial for you and send you the file. And you can run that, your local network, your other channel, YouTube channels as well, or whatever, or if you have a closed circuit network, maybe at the levee at a bar, you could put up your commercials.
We're getting ready to do one for just a banner or a billboard for a breeder, and it gets your information out there for people to see that are involved in harness racing. One thing we don't have, what about people that do tack work as far as horses are concerned? Maybe not as much for harness racing, but guess what? We've got horse lovers that are harness horse people that maybe will buy a saddle or something like that.
It's in my to-do list to reach out to the big R's, the local farm implement type, Farm and Home Supply out of Quincy. We have an audience that they want to advertise to, right?
Absolutely.
So we got to get those connections made. We're working on it right now. I reached out to, there's a new tack shop, it's been around a long time, but kind of new serving this area, Yanni's, I believe. They make some of the whips for the Minnesota Horsemen and some tack out of the Midwest area. We used to have tack trucks that, drove from fair to fair, and horsemen had access to that kind of thing. Well, those are kind of gone, we'll reach out to the next level, the Walshes, the Yanni's, the bigger names.
And if you've got an online store, the example of, I'm wearing a hat today from one of the harness people, and if you go to a lot of these people's sites, if they have sites, they have stores. Well, if you're one of those people, let's advertise your store. Get it on a billboard with us. It'll be on for about 10-15 seconds. People will see it, a couple of times.
And you may not need a lot of advertising, and we know small businesses have tight budgets, but one of the great things about kind of the billboard advertising, we'll call it, is it pops up on the screen, and from all my marketing experience in college, top of mind is almost as good as being the best in an industry, just being the one that people think of. So if they want to make some custom apparel, like that cool hat you got from the Herzogs, they might be able to just go ahead and do that if you have a custom online shop that creates that kind of stuff. So
well, and let's talk about our schedule. Last year we scheduled 17 races, but I had to take Kurt out of my head for a second there.
He's using the mic to talk to the officials,
But we had 17 on the schedule last year. One of them got rained out. We have 20 on the schedule right now. Everything so far has been a go, and we're looking at adding 21. But if you'd like to be added to the schedule, give David a call. Check with David, because the schedule is open.
And I promise, I just told Stephen before we went on air today, one of my goals, and Scott and Kurt heard me as well, one of my goals is to broadcast from every fair in the state, to put a spotlight on every county fair that wants to have horse racing. We want to show the world what they're doing. So if we don't make it to your fair this year, last year, we're trying to. The schedule has a couple fairs on top of each other, but we have a couple obligations we work around, but we really try to make every fair we can.
Okay, with that, we're going to take a sponsor break here to pay the bills, just as we talked about right now. You're listening to Harness Tube.
I have been interested in truck driving my whole life. I've been fascinated with the big rig since I was a kid. But after college, I got into business on the marketing side of things, kind of shelved the dream. 30 years later, I quit my job, signed up for truck driving school. It was exciting from the get-go. Dot recruited out of my truck driving school. The job was everything I was hoping it would be, and then some. My weeks absolutely fly by. When my life needed fulfillment, I took the wheel.
Los Rancheros Restaurant in Mount Sterling is your destination for authentic Mexican food. Open Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., and Sunday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come and enjoy their daily specials on food and drink. Having a party? Check out Los Rancheros for catering your next event or gathering. Los Rancheros Authentic Mexican Restaurant, 408 Quincy Road, Mount Sterling. Call 217-773-7800.
Timewell Drainage Products is a locally owned family company that has provided incredible employment opportunities in our area for over 40 years. Our constantly growing company is always looking for dynamic individuals who want to be part of an innovative, fast-paced team. To join our team, visit us online at timewellpipe.com. Timewell Drainage Products, a proud community employer since 1982.
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at TheStable.ca.
Wait, before you go and get your snacks and drinks, make sure to subscribe and like to Harness Tube. If you can't do that, just give us a thumbs up. Show.
All for Wyatt Avenatti. In race 8, driver change to be announced because Darla Martin Lohman has a double call. She is listed on both the 1 and the 2, so obviously a driver change will be forthcoming in race 8. Be announced. In the 9th race, folks, here's a change we don't announce very often. In the 9th race today, I believe in most track programs, the number 1 horse, the name is listed as Marginal Choice. That horse's name has been changed and not yet raced. So the connections have changed his name. They bought him at a yearling sale. He was already named when they bought him, and they've changed the name to Hidalgo Otis. So please note, in the 9th race, the name of the horse, horse number 1, is now Hidalgo Otis. Driver change on number 1, True Fortune, Wyatt Avenatti. That's in the 10th race. Driver change on number 1, True Fortune. The driver is Wyatt Avenatti. The 11th and final race, a couple of driver changes. In race 11, the driver of number 3, Lose Gambler, will be Chris Brown. That's in the 11th and final race. Number 3, Lose Gambler. The driver will be Chris Brown. And the driver of number 5, Dashing Durango, Jordan Patton. Number 5, Dashing Durango, the driver, Jordan Patton. So those are the available changes as they stand right now, about 10 minutes from post for the first race. Horsemen stand by. We will call you to the track shortly for our opening event. There are some missing past performance lines. Some of these horses have raced since they were entered 3 days ago for today's competition. So when your program tells you line to be announced, we will do our best to jump online and check the United States Trotting Association database and update you on the performance of those horses from those most recent races. Again, stand by. Pre-race ceremonies coming up, and then we'll call the field of the track in a moment for the first.
Okay, David, as we get ready to go here on the broadcast, viewers are going to notice a bigger gap that we can't give you on video due to the truck pulling vehicles that are pulling in here. I hope there's not much more, David, because we've lost about, what, fifth of the track?
Yeah, you know, that they're being somewhat considerate. They're lining up in line with our camera shot. So if you look between the trucks, you can actually see the horses kind of pop between the red one and the yellow and blue one there. So, you know, if your eye is very keen and you follow your horse just right, you should be able to kind of keep your mind on what's going on in the mile.
Yep, absolutely.
But we make do with what we got. If you're here at the fair sitting in the grandstand, you got the same view as us. So not much we can do.
Yep, 500 subscribers. We talked about that earlier. And we'll move on to some of our banner
I'll make
things.
a quick note. We usually go ahead and put the race program on our Facebook if you go ahead and follow us along there. The last couple of days I've been putting it in the YouTube chat as well, just to keep it kind of in one spot. So if you follow along, you don't have a Facebook, you can go in the YouTube chat and get the race program PDF to print off and follow along at home.
All right, that's happening there.
And we might work on putting the changes in the YouTube chat as well, or something we're working on over here, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, the other thing I'm finding out, David, is we made these two slides, so that means I've got to make it change twice here by doing it the way I'm doing it. So just note to self in as far as programming is concerned. But we're glad that you're on board today, and you're watching YouTube with us today on Harness Tube. Steve Surratt, David Brink, Lisa Surratt running camera, Kurt Becker, our track announcer.
You know, they run camels over in Saudi Arabia, I think, but I don't think they run camels over here.
No, she's running the camera. Yeah. But, David, you want to talk about our donations and people being able to help us out through donating?
Yeah, we have a long list of donors there, and there's more that are on the list that haven't made the file for the broadcast yet. They're going to make it on future broadcasts, but everyone's been so generous. You know, I talk about it and I can't say it enough. We got in this idea thinking that maybe we'd pay for it with advertising or something along those lines. You know, we had the dead space between races, we'd fill with that, but the horsemen have been so thankful. Just walk up to me, hand me money, ask me where to send the check. They just want to try to get the money to support Harness Tubes, and we appreciate them. So we want to make sure we gave them a nod on the screen a little bit, and we welcome more for sure.
And so that's what's going on with that. That generous
keeps it free, you know, and that's the goal. Is we do have expenses, and our goal is to always keep it free. So the donorships kind of keep that moving along.
All right, and so as we keep moving on here, some of our billboard sponsors out there. That's one way you can advertise, and we thank the Midwest Harness Association for doing what they do.
And all of their support over the years.
As we get ready to go here, if I seem a little distracted, we're trying to do a really good job for you here and make all these changes in the race program so that you will be up to date on the drivers and so forth that are going on today.
Well, we're excited to head back down to the Coles County Fair, them as a sponsor. We just popped off the screen, but they're the longest continuous running fair in the state. There's a lot of horsemen at stable there. There's a huge horse presence in that area. We're just a fan of going down there. We thank them for their support. Lisa's got a shot there of what our view blockage might be today with those tractor pull trucks coming in. I think we'll probably be all right. We'll do the best we can.
Just as long as no more come in.
You know, I think that the officials will try to keep the track free. It's hard for horses to deal with semis, you know what I mean? Crossing the track, they have to operate so slowly, and the horses see them from so far away. So for everyone's safety, hopefully we can kind of keep the truck crossing to a minimum. But I have faith in the officials here making their best judgment.
Yeah, I do too. Along with that, as like I said, we go through and make some changes. You want to talk about some of those changes?
In the program?
Yeah, you could do that if you wanted to.
Okay. Yeah, well, Kurt went ahead and mentioned the changes. One I want to jump to, there's some driver changes. If you go through the program, you'll see some double mounts for some guys.
Triple mounts?
Yeah, I think the sixth race we had 6 horses and 2 drivers between the 6. So we will have some driver changes coming in. We'll get them to you as best we can. Kurt will announce them. We might put them in the YouTube chat. We did that yesterday. It seemed to work okay. We might drop them on a scrolling, banner across the bottom or something as the pari-mutuel tracks tend to do. We'll figure out what works best, but we'll try to get the information to you. But the change that I really wanted to highlight here was something that Kurt mentioned, is a change we don't see very often, is the 9th race, the first horse. We have a name change, which is interesting. And Kurt was exactly right. In the USTA, allow you to change the name of a horse as long as they haven't made a start. So up until that race date, you can call them and change the name of the horse if you want. And that is the most Alan Bowen thing I've ever heard in my life, because he would say, why would I spend the money on changing the horse's name in the paperwork if I wasn't sure if they're going to make the races or not? So we just call them the stall name until the race season and then send the paperwork in. But so that made me laugh whenever Kurt announced that. We had some driver changes. I think that Jill Brown was putting up Jordan Patton on a lot of their double mounts. Jordan getting a lot of the drives in the Brown barn. You can see in the first race we have a scratch. One-Eyed Jet was scratch sick. Race 2, we have another driver change in the Brown barn, but we're putting Chris Brown on the 2, Mr. Kidd. I guess Larry Plank is not here. And the 3, taking Wyatt off of Bold Victor, the Jill Brown trainee, and putting her husband, Chris, in the bike. The 4th race, we're moving on. Dave Brooks swapping Jordan Patton in the driver's seat for Wyatt Avenetti, who had a double call there. 5th race, Jordan gets the mount. Jordan Patton, Mr. Glasses for his dad, Freddie Patton Jr. on IYQ and Only You. 6th race, we will have some updates. Mikey Rogers has double. Here we come. We'll give it to Kurt.
Call you out to the track for the first race in a moment. Please note in race number 2, number 2, Mr. Kidd, the driver will now be Wyatt Avenetti. That is in race 2, number 2, Mr. Kidd, the driver will be Wyatt Avenetti. And now more changes are available in the first race. In the first race, the driver of number 1, It's Somewhere, is Marcus Turner. That's in the first race. Number 1, It's Somewhere. The driver is Marcus Turner. In the second race, there's a driver change on the 5, Maze Boy.
You're getting these, right?
That will be Marcus Turner. That's in the second race. Number 5, Maze Boy, make the driver Marcus Turner. A couple of other late changes are available. In race number 6, the driver of number 3, Sailor Sam, is Tom Simmons. That is race 6. The driver of number 3, Sailor Sam, is Tom Simmons. 7th race. The driver of the 1, Frontier Dawson, Tom Simmons. That's in the 7th race. The driver of the 1, Frontier Dawson, is Tom Simmons. And the driver of the 2, Holy Lucifer, will be Matt Avenetti. Number 2, Holy Lucifer. The driver, Matt Avenetti. Still owe you a driver change in race 8, Darla Martin Lohman with the double call. Horsemen, come to the track, please, with the first race. Again, horsemen, if you would please, come to the track with race 1, the Big Ten 2-year-old filly Pace. A reminder, scratch number 2, One-Eyed Jet. Number 2 is scratched, so please be aware of that. Pick a winner, players. Well, folks, good morning, and welcome back to the Macon County Fair at Decatur for more harness racing. It's the Illinois Big Ten Colt Stakes headed to the post here today. We're glad to have you with us. 11 races are on tap. Before we get underway, we ask that you would please rise in tribute to our national anthem. And thank you one and all. Great to have you with us, ladies and gentlemen, for Illinois Big Ten Colt Stakes Harness Racing, a longtime tradition dating back to the early 1950s at the Macon County Fair. Horses are beginning to come to the track for today's first race. In the opener, scratch number 2, One Eye Jet, scratched because she is sick. And a reminder, the driver of number 1, It's Somewhere, Marcus Turner. Marcus Turner drives the 1. Make sure you fill in your Pick-A-Winner entry form and get it submitted before the race goes to the post. We'll play Pick-A-Winner after each of our 11 races today. $5 if we pull your name after the given race, and if you selected the horse that ends up winning the race. 18-year-old driver.
Rough. Okay. Lisa's off.
Okay, give her a shout on that. I got to change something here.
Your camera's off. Lisa, can you hear me?
As far as racing competition, as both a trainer and a driver. Race 1 to John Rotz Memorial. You know it's Belmont Stakes Day. They're running the Belmont this year at Saratoga. And the Belmont
Lisa,
goes
can you
to
hear
host
me?
this evening out
Lisa, can you
in
hear me?
upstate New York. And how about that? We have a memorial race for Macon County native John Rotz, member of the Hall of Fame of Thoroughbred.
Marcus Turner, okay.
He won the Belmont Stakes. He also won the Preakness Stakes.
Yeah, do you have her phone? Call her.
And it all began right here in central Illinois. We remember the man they called Gentleman John Rotz, Hall of Fame jockey and a Belmont Stakes winning jockey, only county fair in America that can say they've got a memorial race on Belmont Stakes Day for a native son who won the Belmont. Just about set to go with the first race.
She's back up. She's back up, David. All right, Steve Surratt, David Brink back with you. I'm sorry, that was on mic. We lost our camera there. But let's look at the first race in the picks that we have out there. Lisa and I picked the number 4 horse, Frontier Fantasy. That's a Jamaica patent horse. And David picked the number 5 horse, Lily Bell. Freddie Jr. patent horse out there for the first race.
Yeah, that horse we saw down at Carlinville in Macoupin County. You know, we both picked Frontier Fantasy. That horse came in there looking really hot, along with Wildcat Abbey. But the real surprise was that Lily Bella raced a good mile. Freddie parked him and just stung him the whole mile and hung on for a good second. So I was impressed and looked at that horse to step up here.
So we just flip-flop first and second picks
Something like
between Lisa and I. Lisa's pick for third is Show-Stoppin' Jenica. And that's her pick. That is a
driver's change
Tavers.
I was trying to listen to.
Okay, sorry about that.
You're fine.
David's pick will be...
One of Darla's has Jamaica on. We'll figure it out,
You
though.
Can't. And then I picked to finish third. It's Somewhere.
I want to make the point, though, I did pick the 3 as my third choice. That is our 18-year-old making his debut trainer-driver, Marcus Detweiler, on a nice bred horse here. So we'll see what happens with the 3.
All right, we'll go to Kurt.
Horses, 2-year-old filly pacers, the John Rotz Memorial. Number 1, It's Somewhere, owned by Marquesta McAllister, Garrison, Texas. The trainer, Jamaica patent. Contrary to the program, the driver is Marcus Turner. Number 2 is scratched. Number 3, Till You Can't, owned by Marcus Detweiler of Sullivan. That is the 18-year-old driver, trainer, and owner who comes to us out of Sullivan, making his career debut as a trainer-driver today. Wishing all the best to young Marcus Detweiler. Number 4, that's nice. A great round of applause there from our race fans. Well done. Race number 4 is Frontier Fantasy, owned by Linda Allhands of Monticello, the trainer-driver Jamaica patent. 5 is Lily Bella, owned by Willie Scott of Raymond, Mississippi, trained and driven by Freddie Patton Jr. Number 6 is Show-Stoppin' Jenica, owned by Jacob Radel of Edgewood, trained and driven by Cornelius Cavett. And number 7, She's a Major Dune, owned by Elizabeth Radel of Edgewood, trained by Cornelius Cavett, and the driver is Jordan Patton. Our starter is Stacy DeRoos, with Aaron DeRoos driving the gate, and they are at the post, and the gate is rolling for our first race. So many great horsemen have come out of Sullivan, Illinois through the years. Guy Graham, Turner Graham, Glenn Kidwell, Dick Ray, Jerry Freeze, Don Freeze, on and on the list goes, and Marcus Detweiler wanting to add to that great racing heritage in Moultrie County. Let's see how it goes. Here they come, wishing everybody today a safe journey. Race 1 coming down for the start.
Lost it again.
They are off and pacing, and there goes Frontier Fantasy out for the early lead. Lily Bella had some difficulty there at the start as the field swings around the first turn, races toward the backstretch. It's Somewhere, speaking of difficulty, just made a break, so It's Somewhere is off stride. Lily Bella put in a couple of awkward steps, but she quickly recovered and is in good position in third. But at the front of the field, Frontier Fantasy is the early leader. Frontier Fantasy is on top by a length going by the quarter-mile mark. Showstop and Jenica, good position there second. Lily Bella, after a brief bobble at the start, is in third position as they go in by the quarter. 31 flat was the time for the opening quarter mile. It was 31 seconds flat. Till You Can't has settled along toward the inside in a good spot here in fourth position early on for Marcus Detweiler as they come on down toward the half-mile mark. Showstop and Jenica is next, and It's Somewhere is last, but trying to catch up with the rest of the field and now begins to do so, but still a good 8 lengths off the lead. Halfway home in the John Rotz Memorial, and here comes Lily Bella. Lily Bella, number 5, is up and moving on the outside. 104 and 2 for the first half mile, 104 and 2. Side by side for the lead, Lily Bella to the outside and Frontier Fantasy to the inside. They're matching strides onto the backstretch. Till You Can't has moved into third for Marcus Detweiler, just 2 lengths off the front pair. She's a Major Dune, has now moved up into fourth around Showstop and Jenica in fifth, and It's Somewhere is now the distant trailer. They go by the 3/4 mile mark. 135 flat the time, 135. It is still side by side for the lead. Lily Bella and Frontier Fantasy. Lily Bella to the outside has the lead a half length, and Frontier Fantasy is second by a length. Until You Can't, how about 18-year-old Marcus Detweiler? He's got a shot. It's his first career drive. He's at least going to get second, it appears, trying to catch up with Lily Bella. He won't get the win. Marcus will get a runner-up finish as Lily Bella has won the opener today for Freddie Patton Jr. Lily Bella won it by 3 lengths. Nice effort. What a great career debut for Marcus Detweiler, bringing home Till You Can't in the runner-up position. And then further back, it was She's a Major Dune who got third by a head. On the outside of Frontier Fantasy, who was fourth, Showstop and Jenica fifth. It's Somewhere finished in sixth. 2:05 and 2 was the time for the mile. 2:05 and 2. We'll meet the winner. We'll play Pick a Winner. Horseman, you may come to the track with race 2.
What were your fractions there, Pete?
31 flat.
All right.
Okay. 10, take the one from the wireless box and plug it straight in the camera.
2. Sorry, 2. 135 flat. 2:05 and 2.
Thank you, bud.
Recapping the fractions from that first race today, the opening quarter in 31 seconds, the first half mile in 104 and 2, 3/4 in 135, and the time for the mile 2:05 and 2/5. And we'll meet the winner here in just a moment. Folks, want to take a moment and recognize Macon County Sheriff Jim Root, who is standing by trackside with our fair president and speed superintendent Evan Hall. It's always good to see the sheriff, but we also want to add to that his team did a fantastic job of handling the scene of last night's security issue at the fair. We are incredibly thankful. We are proud of Jim and his deputies, the volunteers and staff. Ladies and gentlemen, our sheriff, Jim Root. Thank you, Jim. And on the way back and about to pick up the John Rotz Memorial Blanket is number 5, Lily Bella. The winner is owned by Willie Scott of Raymond, Mississippi, and trained and driven by Freddie Patton Jr. The winner bred by Adele Jeffers Everett and her late mother, Mary Lee Jeffers, as Lily Bella is a 2-year-old filly by their stallion Valentino, who stands at the Jeffers Farm out of Belladonna by His Majesty. Again, the blanket for the first race today is the John Rotz Memorial, as we remember Warrensburg native John Rotz, who began his jockey career in Central Illinois, got his start at the Midwestern Fairs and Paramutuals, a career that took him all across North America and all the way to the Sports Hall of Fame as a jockey who won, among other races, the Belmont Stakes. And this is a filly, folks, who, like 2-year-olds will do. She put in a couple of awkward steps at the start, but she quickly recovered, and Freddie Patton Jr. kept her gathered up. And how about a hand for your winner, number 5, Lily Bella. And there's Sheriff Jim, along with our Speed Superintendent Evan, making the presentation of the John Rotz Memorial Blanket and congratulating Mr. Freddie Patton Jr., our winning trainer-driver. Big thanks to all of the folks from the Decatur Camera Club and also to Patricia Fryman Photography, as they have taken some fantastic pictures of racing yesterday and are back around the grounds and around the racetrack today, and also helping out with our Winner's Circle photos as well. Well, here's the full field rundown. It is official for today's first race. From the top of the page, it somewhere finished 6. One Eye Jet was scratched. Till You Can't was the runner-up. Frontier Fantasy finished 4th. Lily Bella was the winner. Showstoppin' Jenica 5, and She's a Major Dune, rallied for 3rd. The opening quarter in 31 flat, the half in 104 and 2, 3 quarters 135, and the mile 205 and 2. Reads down 6 scratch 2, 4 1 5 3. The second race is on the way, and we'll play Pick a Winner here in a moment. A reminder, in race 2, the driver of number 2, Mr. Kidd, is Wyatt Avenatti. Mr. Kidd, number 2, make the driver Wyatt Avenatti. And the driver of the 5, Maze Boy, Marcus Turner. Number 5, Maze Boy, Marcus Turner will be your driver. Hey, Pick a Winner players, second race, number 2, Mr. Kidd, is the only horse in this group that's ever raced until today. The others are all making a first career start. So number 2, Mr. Kidd, has made 2 starts. Everybody else seeing the starting gate for the first time. Well, let's play Pick a Winner. I'll bet Evan's got a name for $5.
The winner of race 1 is Mr. Jim Kincaid. Mr. Jim.
And we're back on Harness Tube after some technical fun, right? We'll call it.
Absolutely. Sorry about that, folks. But if it's electronic, it's not going to work every.
In the YouTube chat, everyone's kind of commenting along. We appreciate everyone bearing with us while we resolve whatever that was.
Yeah, as we look through this, I didn't get to watch the race. Number 5 won. Let's say
looked pretty good. I missed the 7 sneaking in there, but a close finish in there. Got a big props to the kid, Marcus, for his first drive, first training steer. The winner, though, Lily Bella, that horse, as I predicted, just is coming into form at the right time. And Kurt had put in a couple steps, but veteran Freddie Patton gathered up and went on down the track.
With that, we'll take a station break. We'll be back after these messages from our sponsors.
Hello, Earl Flack for your locally owned McKay Napa Auto Parts store. Let's talk about June savings. You're always talking about savings. Well, when you got a deal, you talk about it. Save up to 38% on Mobile One Advanced Full Synthetic Motor Oil for $34.99 for a 5-quart jug, or $6.99 for a quart. I know some of you guys are used to going to the box store, but you don't have to go there. Stop by McKay. We're pretty good guys. Also, make sure you got your lawn and garden battery, your motorcycle battery, your golf cart battery, your automotive battery. Heck, we even got flashlight batteries. Get the good stuff.
ADI, located in Golden, is one of North America's largest pattern tiling installers. We've helped farmers create water management systems for over 40 years with pattern tiling across farm fields, generating proven data showing a boost in yield and greater profitability. Changing weather patterns do not have to cost you yield dollars anymore. Start with a free estimate now by calling your local ADI representative, David Lohman, at 309-280-2411 or by visiting our website at agdrainage.com.
I'm thinking that was back around 1979, back in that era. Then he went on to win at the Paramutuals. He won races at Fairmount Park, and he won races at Quad City Downs. Ashford always comes to mind. French Streak, another great trotter that was trained by Bill Hanna. French Streak was widely regarded as one of the leading 2-year-old trotters in 1989 here in Illinois. And in fact, for most of the summer was ranked second in the state, only behind the great R. Pappy, who went on to win the State Fair Colt Stakes at Springfield. But the other thing about Bill Hanna that always comes to mind, high speed, and he could make speed early in a horse. I think Marcus Detweiler's got some fans in the stands today. I just heard another cheer go up, and indeed he does, and that's fantastic. Great to have folks out here cheering for their favorite horses and horsemen.
Oh. Okay, David, let's talk about our picks coming into this second race. Everybody, all three of us, picked the 5-horse, driven Maze Boy by Marcus Turner. It's a Jamaica patent horse, and so everybody picked it. Why did you pick it?
There's not enough starts on this page to really handicap with any kind of confidence, but what I do, I went down this page. I know that horse is breeding. Some star somewhere, one of the leading sires in the state, one of the biggest pacing sires right now, out of a good old Illinois bred mare out of Sportsmaster called I'm All Alone. So I know that breeding. I kind of went on top thinking that Jamaica, I trusted Jamaica in picking out this horse and developing this horse. So, with not a whole lot on the page to go off of, I went with that.
And we went by the trainer. I mean, that's what Lisa and I go to. We don't know the breeding as well as you do.
There's a reason why big trainers get big stables is because a lot of people trust them, right? So the same trust I'm putting into him for developing this horse is the same trust the owners would have put in it.
And you and Lisa picked Valley Sage, a Darla Martin Lohman driven and owned or trained horse.
Mm-hmm.
I went with the 4. It's Monkey Doo, Cornelius Cavett trained horse, driven by Jordan Patton.
And we were just talking up here in the booth. That's an interesting horse. Show-stopping Monkey, that horse's sire, was actually raced on the trot. So you'll see some of his foals. Show-stopping Monkeys will be racing on the pace, some on the trot. It's an interesting kind of to watch how they develop. But, the trainers kind of break them the way that they want to go and just let them kind of do their natural gait.
Okay, and then for the third place, Lisa picked a 2, Mr. Kid, driven by Wyatt Avenetti, Jill Brown. And David's pick was the 4. It's Monkey Doo. We just talked about that horse. And then the 1 was the one I picked for third that everybody else picked for second. And so we're getting ready here. We'll go back to Kurt for the track announcement.
A purse of $1,764. We talked yesterday about the fact that it's 50% of the purse that goes to the winner, 25% to the runner-up, 12% for third, 8% for fourth, and 5% of the purse to the fifth-place finisher. Post-parade will form up at the end of the backstretch or over on the west turn. They'll be in front of the stands here in a moment and then head to the gate. A reminder, the driver of number 2, Mr. Kidd, is Wyatt Avenetti. You've got Wyatt Avenetti driving number 2. And you've got Marcus Turner on the 5, Maze Boy. Marcus Turner driving number 5, Maze Boy. We'll meet the starters in just a moment. I'll bet some of our seasoned racing fans are old enough to remember the days when there was a matinee program held in early June here at the Macon County Fairgrounds, and then the fair would take place around the last week of July. But if you go back and check the record books, Bill Hanna was always a force at that matinee, and it goes to the point we made earlier that Bill could really get early speed out of a 2-year-old. When they started the season, he had his stable of young horses honed, tightened, and ready to go. Track condition is listed fast for today, despite the fact we've had a few sprinkles here and there overnight or early this morning. Thanks to our track crew. They've done a fantastic job. Let's meet the starters right now for today's second race. Number 1, Valley Sage, owned by Janet Donisaro of Hazelwood, Missouri. Darla Martin Lohman, the trainer-driver. 2, Mr. Kidd, is owned by Brian Chupp of Arthur, trained by Jill Brown. The driver, Wyatt Avenetti. Number 3, I just want to be clear, is anybody here today cheering for Marcus Detweiler? Yes, I love it. I tell you, that is fantastic. And I know the horsemen, they always appreciate your being here, race fans, and it's just great to support your favorite. There he is. Hello, Marcus. Very nice debut, young man. Very nice debut. And the fans continue to cheer 18-year-old Marcus Detweiler, and he's got number 3, Rockin' Richard. And again, Marcus, the owner, trainer, driver for It's Monkey Do, owned by Jacob Radel of Edgewood, trained by Cornelius Cavett, Jordan Patton of the bike, and 5 Maze Boy, owned by Ron Phillips of Athens, Louis Lineberger of Gibson City, trained by Jamaica Patton. The driver is Marcus Turner, headed to the gate for race 2. At the post, gates rolling. Moving to the top of the stretch, just about set to go with race 2 on a gorgeous Saturday for racing. Good to have you with us, folks. Again, the radar looks good. No anticipated weather issues for the rest of the day. Tractor and truck pull tonight. It's a big day at the Macon County Fair. Here they come, race 2. They're off and pacing. There goes Mr. Kidd out for the lead, and there goes Maze Boy for the lead from the outside. And here's Valley Sage with early speed down toward the rail. Mr. Kidd will drop back from that speed battle up front. Valley Sage moves up, saves the ground along the inside lane, leads it by a neck. But Maze Boy is still there on the outside to challenge for the lead. Mr. Kidd tucked away behind that pair in third, and now Maze Boy moves on by, clear with the lead before the quarter-mile mark. Maze Boy passing beneath the American flag, flying high over the backstretch here at the Macon County Fair, and Maze Boy is the leader past the quarter-mile mark. 31-1 the time for the opening quarter, 31-1. Maze Boy leading Valley Sage by 2 lengths, and you still got Mr. Kidd there in the third position. And then it's Monkey Do is racing in fourth, and Rockin' Richard last of the 5, but right there with the rest as they come on down to the half-mile mark. Mr. Kidd starting to change lanes toward the outside, now thinks better of it. Here comes Marcus from the back of the pack, and here comes Darla from position number 2. Darla Martin Lohman and Valley Sage move up to take the lead by a length as they move by the half-mile mark. Maze Boy is second, a length and a half. 104 flat for the first half mile, 104 flat. It's Monkey Do is now third up on the outside. In fact, It's Monkey Do is now taking second around the turn. Mr. Kidd shuffled back to fourth, and Rockin' Richard is fifth on the outside, but moving up. And now here comes a challenge for the lead. It's Monkey Do is drawing alongside of Valley Sage. A couple of young horses making their first career starts here today, and they're separated by a neck. They go on by the 3/4 mile mark. Valley Sage to the inside has a narrow lead. It's Monkey Do is second up on the outside. They've gotten away by 8 lengths from the rest of the field. 136-3 at the 3/4, 136-3. Valley Sage comes off the turn, still chased by It's Monkey Do. A length between them. Let's see if It's Monkey Do can make progress once they get out of the turn. Here's It's Monkey Do on the outside. Valley Sage still has the lead, 3/4 of a length. It's Monkey Do is still second. Valley Sage, the leader. It's Monkey Do is right there. Here they come across the wire. Valley Sage hangs on a half length to the good at the finish. Valley Sage is your winner. It's Monkey Do was second. Then it was a gap of 15 more lengths. And Marcus Detweiler rallies up from last to finish third with Rockin' Richard. And then behind that, Maze Boy was fourth, and Mr. Kidd was fifth. 2:09-4 was the time for the 1 mile distance. 2:09 4/5. We'll meet the winner and play Pick a Winner. Horsemen come to the track with race 3. Recapping the fractions from race 2 today, the opening quarter was 31 1/5 seconds. The first half mile was 1:04. 3/4, 1:36 3/5. The time for the mile, 2:09 4/5 of a second. Valley Sage, number 1, your winner.
And our Pick a Winner winner is Tara A. On her ticket, she wrote Tara A. A new horse racing fan here for the first time. You are the winner of the $5. Come on down and collect your prize. Don't spend it in one place. Congratulations, guys.
Now returning in front of the stands, here is the winner of race 2. How about a hand for number 1, Valley Sage? Darla Martin Lohman of Effingham is the trainer driver. Darla is a native of Indiana, but has made her home in Effingham, Illinois now for a number of years. Sheriff Jim Root and our own Evan Hall making the presentation in front of the stands for the first division of the Bill Hanna Memorial. Remembering a great horseman, trained a lot of Illinois Stakes winners, Bill Hanna. Congratulations to winning owner Janet Donisaro of Hazelwood, Missouri. And that's back-to-back winners to start the card for the sire Valentino, and back-to-back winners bred by the Jeffers Farm. So good start for them. And Darla Martin Lohman has won her share of races over the years. I always love the presentation Darla gives it. You know, Darla is a horseman who takes a lot of pride. You notice the color coordination. Love it. The yellow race bike and the yellow harness to match the driving colors that she wears, gold, technically. Darla Martin Lohman, well done. And the full field rundown is official for the first race. From the top, Valley Sage was the winner. Mr. Kidd finished 5. Rockin' Richard was 3rd. It's Monkey Do was the runner-up. And Maze Boy finished 4th. The opening quarter, 31 and 1/5 seconds. The first half mile in 1:04. 3 quarters, 1:36 and 3/5. The time for the mile, 2:09 and 4/5 of a second. Reads down 1:5.324. Third race coming up, put Chris Brown on number 3, Bold Victor. Chris Brown driving number 3. Let's check back in with Evan Hall. Evan, just wanted to check with you, and we talked about the fact that you kind of touched on this morning, whether it's your track crew, whether it's the sheriff's department, whether it's all the volunteer help, it takes a lot of folks to make a fair be successful, and you're fortunate. You got a lot of good people on your team here in Macon County.
Kurt, we first want to thank Mr. Nick Hanna. The Hannas have got a rich history, like you've talked about today and at the Downstate Classic here in Macon County. And Nick has taken to it. It's in his blood. He's been an excellent track superintendent, and even given missing about a 6-hour window in which we really needed to be out and working last night due to kind of the emergency, the track is still in relatively very good shape, and so we're very proud of that. We had an excellent track for the Downstate Classic. Nick loves horse racing. He does an excellent job. Nick is the son of the late James Buddy Hanna, as you, of course, all know. We miss Buddy, but his legacy lives on at this track, so very proud of that. And, thank you to all of our track officials, Mr. Randy Callahan. Thank you to you, Kurt. We appreciate you coming to see us every year. You do an excellent job, and we're just looking forward to more years of racing here in Macon County.
And thank you, Evan. We appreciate the job that you and your entire team do here at the Macon County Fair, and it's just been wonderful to see. We know that presenting a racing program, there are a lot of hurdles to clear and a lot of challenges that go with it. And it was great. We thought it was fantastic a few years ago when racing was brought back to the lineup after an absence of a few years. And who would have thought that within a few short years after that, we would have the Downstate Classic back here at the Macon County Fair, and that we would also have this fantastic Saturday Big Ten Colt Stakes program. Again, the ITPA folks, they are already beginning to populate the infield of this half-mile track. Tractor and truck pull action are coming up here this evening. That will get underway at 7 o'clock.
All right, back to you on Harness Tube as we get ready for the third race of the day. From the backstretch, let us know you're watching. Well, I want to shout out on the air. We can do that. Got a moment about the race or the broadcast? A comment? Make that. Make a prediction for the upcoming race. You can do that through the Gmail account, harnestube@gmail.com, or text us at 312-772-5122, or drop in the chat on YouTube. Sorry for the technical issues that we've had. We've got a cable that wants to come unloose on the camera, and so David's over there. You've had a picture kind of his shoulder there, but we're trying to get that all worked out for you. Again, share your memories of County Fair, memories of Illinois County Fair harness racing. We'd love to see some pictures with that. If you can send us the same emails and so forth, drop your favorite just fair memory into the YouTube chat. The other thing is share your favorite fair food, share your favorites on drivers, trainers on. We'll share it with you on the air as we get ready to go through some things. You can see some pictures here that they have, others have done with us already this year as far as what we've been sharing. And we have had several shares out there that have been extremely well. As we get ready for a race there, we'll go back to Kurt, or we'll talk about our favorites here as David gets back and catches his breath with us here on the broadcast. Did you get everything fixed over there, David?
It's on, is it? I don't know if it's fixed, but it's on.
Okay.
We're hoping for the best. Lisa was diagnosing some stuff, troubleshooting. We think we have it figured out. Good old duct tape. We just kind of tucked the plugs where they're at, and hopefully if we don't touch them, they stay where they're at.
All right. Thank goodness for duct tape. As we get ready for the third race here in this contest, 4-horse race. Nobody did well in that last race, David. Just to let you know, the horse that y'all talked about, the number 1 horse, ended up winning that Darla Martin Loman's horse, and did a great job with that horse.
Tell you what, folks, there's a story there. Valentino winning the first. We're early in the fair season, I admit, but winning the first two races at Decatur, in against some star somewheres and some Captain Trevors and World of Rock and Rolls. That Valentino might be putting on the map here real quick.
Valley Sage, and so as we head to this third race, driver change Chris Brown, and I believe I got that right, except for I spelled Brown wrong, David. I'll get that changed.
In there.
Huh?
So there's not a P in there.
Is it
PW? Yeah, it's typo. We're fine. We can.
But that's Chris Brown driving that horse. And so let's look at our picks real quick. David and I picked the 4-horse, and UNC Outside, a Jamaica Patton trained horse. Again, not a lot of history on these horses, except for the fact that one's got 2 firsts and a second already this year in Martinsville. Carlinville, Carrollton, and Carlinville was the only second that it has. And so then Lisa and us flip-flop for second. In third, Lisa picked a 2-horse, Bruiser Cruiser, another Cornelius Cabot horse. And David and I with PD's Diamond Hope for that third pick there, David.
Yeah, this race, it's tough to overlook with little experience in racing early in the season. Unk Outside has 3 starts, 2 wins in a second. You got to guess just odds of statistical analysis will tell you that horse is probably going to be, one of the top 2. And for second, Chris Brown's horse. That horse has been improving every start. 3, 2, 1 last quarters and 32, 31, 31. That's finishing the mile good enough to go ahead and using my second choice here. And on top for third choice, I went on top to the White Avenue horse out of Kevin Miller Barn, Fort Knox, PD's Diamond Hope.
And so we're getting ready here. We'll go back to Kurt Becker at trackside.
Diamond Hope or Bruiser Cruiser will go to the winner's circle. The racetrack is hot, folks, getting ready to start a race. And in the interest of everyone's safety, racetrack is hot. We're getting ready to go with the race. There are horses warming up. There are horses racing. There's a lot of activity. So please keep that in mind as traffic comes and goes across the back straightaway and across that west turn We mentioned that in everybody's interest in safety. We want to get that out there. There are horses warming up. There are horses racing. Right now, there's a field of horses getting ready to turn to the starting gate. We're finishing up some track conditioning. Glad everyone's here. Safety first, of course, always the priority. Just about set to go for race 3. Again, the racetrack is hot, gate is rolling, a race getting ready to start here in race 3. Moving to the top of the stretch, starter Stacy DeRoos has the field in tow, getting ready for the third race, second division of the Bill Hanna Memorial. Remembering a man who won his share of races here at the Macon County Fair and across the state of Illinois as a trainer and driver in those familiar red, white, and green colors. They are off and pacing in race 3. Bold Victor grabs the racetrack, and Unk Outside's going to go with him. And how about that? The two horses that duked it out at Carlinville a few nights ago, the battle is rejoined here in the first turn at the Macon County Fair. Unk Outside moves up from the outside and has the lead by almost a full length, still outward from that inside lane. Now Unk Outside clears with the lead, drops over along the inside lane, going to the quarter-mile mark, and leads it by just 1 length. You've got Bold Victor in second by a length and a half to Bruiser Cruiser in third, and PD's Diamond Hope is fourth, but right there with the rest. 30 3/5 was the time for the opening quarter, so a good solid pace, 30 3/5 seconds. Keep in mind, Unk Outside was parked for the first half of that opening quarter around that first turn, so had to travel a little extra ground. We'll see if that might work to the benefit of the other 3 horses lined up behind him. That includes Bold Victor, who's right behind the leader in second, Bruiser Cruiser third on the outside, and PD's Diamond Hope in fourth position. Halfway home here in today's third race, it is Unk Outside who is the leader. 102 4 was the time. 102 4. Unk Outside guides the field back around the east side of the course and leads it by just 1 length. It's side by side for second. Bruiser Cruiser to the outside of Bold Victor, and PD's Diamond Hope, who comes to the outside from last. Any one of these 4 could win it. They are all 4 in contention. 3 lengths from front to back. They go to the 3/4 mile mark. Unk Outside is still the leader. Unk Outside leads it by a length. Bruiser Cruiser second on the outside by a neck. Bold Victor needs room toward the inside in third. 134 4 the time at the 3/4. 134 4. PD's Diamond Hope is swinging up on the outside. Oh, but broke stride. PD's Diamond Hope was starting to make a move to challenge for the lead, but broke stride and is last. Here comes Bold Victor. Now, Bold Victor is coming after Unk Outside. Can he do it again, or can PD's Diamond Hope rally back late on the grandstand side? Look at wow! This is unbelievable! PD's Diamond Hope with an incredible burst of speed after breaking stride on the final turn, rallies back and wins it. He rallied back and he won it. I mean, that's amazing. First career start, and when he broke stride about midway on the final turn, I think probably most of us thought, all right, well, just wasn't his day. It was his day. Pete, what's the time for the mile? 206 1. Thank you, Pete Skeffington. 206 1. PD's Diamond Hope, the winner. Recapping the fractions for race 3, the opening quarter 30 3/5 seconds. The first half mile 102 4. 3/4 134 4. And the time for the mile 206 1/5. Number 1, PD's Diamond Hope, winning on debut. First career start. Meet the winner next.
And your race 3, pick a winner. Winner is Vicki Wilson. Vicki Wilson, daughter of Bob Wickline, who brought
Okay, David, as we take a look at this race and how it turned out, what a race, as somebody said up here, for Kurt Becker just to be speechless
be
and
caught
say,
off
wow.
guard, yeah. He's got the best eye in the sport, and to just be caught off guard by that move was a huge move.
And again, none of us picked him correct.
Hey, I had him third, didn't I?
You had him third. I had him third. We didn't do well. Let's just put it that way.
Unk outside parked in the first quarter. That takes it out of a young horse. Wyatt just got the close striking distance trip.
Okay, we'll go back to Kurt.
PD's Diamond Hope, owned by a piece of the action stable of Culver City, California. This is a homebred for that group of investors. Again, the stable is based in California, but you have a number of folks connected to that stable who have roots in the Midwest and in Illinois. Kevin Miller is the trainer. We talked about Kevin, and here he comes now. He has hitched a ride on the courtesy vehicle to the makeshift winner's circle, and Kevin is walking out to greet our winning driver, Wyatt Avenetti. PD's Diamond Hope, a 2-year-old gelded son of Fort Knox, out of said diamonds by Well Said. We told you Wyatt had a big day yesterday, got his first career Downstate Classic win yesterday, and now drives a pretty impressive debut 2-year-old winner today, the time 2:06.1. Again, our thanks to the Hanna family, Nick Hanna, our track superintendent, as we remember Nick's grandfather today, Bill Hanna. Thanks again to Sheriff Jim Root helping with that presentation as well. I bet Kevin Miller is pleased with that debut, and I bet Wyatt Avenetti is telling Kevin, I think your 2-year-old pacer here's got a future. Nice job by the connections here in race 3. Here's the full field rundown. It is official for that third race. PD's Diamond Hope was the winner. Bruiser Cruiser finished 4th. Bold Victor, the runner-up, and Unk Outside was 3rd. Opening quarter, 30 3/5. The first half mile, 102 4. 3 quarters, 134 4/5, and the time for the mile, 2:06 1. Reads down 1423. Horsemen, come to the track, please, with the 4th race, the first division of the Big Ten 3-year-old filly pace, the Larry Reed Memorial. The driver of the 5, Some Star Sandy, is Jordan Patton. Number 5, Some Star Sandy, the driver is Jordan Patton. Noticed on the program we have an owner today from Vergennes, Illinois, down in the southwestern part of the state near the banks of the Mississippi River. We bring that up because, Evan, I'm curious. I wanted to ask you, when we were down at DuQuoin for the races on Thursday, the audio technician was a gentleman who also farms.
Yoder Custom Woodworking was started in 1995 by the Yoder family as a retail Amish furniture store in Sullivan, Illinois. They offer custom kitchen cabinets, granite and quartz countertops, built-in office and bathroom cabinetry, and offer a wide range of Amish furniture. Their store is located at 1117 West Jackson Street in Sullivan, Illinois, with store hours Tuesday through Friday 9 to 4:30 and Saturday 9 to 3. For more information, contact Yoder Custom Woodworking at 217-728-2166.
Make plans now to attend the 25th Annual Illini Classic Yearling Sale on Labor Day at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield. Established in 1999, the Illini Classic has been producing champions for a quarter century, including reigning Illinois Divisional Champions On Higher Ground and Scorecard Dandy. It's the Illini Classic Yearling Sale, Monday, September 2nd at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield, beginning at 11 a.m. Central. Come join us and finish the summer strong.
When the farmers are able to get their work done, as I told the gentleman down at DuQuoin, I'm not going to lie, I like to eat. So I'm glad when the farmers can get their work done, I am always glad to hear that for sure. Getting ready for the fourth race today. Again, first division of the Larry Reed Memorial, as we remember a horseman who was a trainer and a driver who was stabled right here for many years at the Macon County Fairgrounds. Larry took out his trainer and driver license in 1979, and he campaigned to stable for, well, the better part of around 25 or 30 years. Had some tremendous seasons, in particular back in the 1999 to 2009 era. And we were reminiscing earlier today here on the infield about horses Larry Reed raced and that we remember watching him race. And one of the names that always comes to mind, he had a pacer by the name of Air King. And some of you race fans might remember when Larry Reed took Air King to the Illinois State Fair one year and won a very exciting race. It was a dead heat for the win. And his horse was not the favorite. The other horse in the dead heat was the favorite. Larry's part of that dead heat was an upset. And Air King that day, I'm wanting to say Tom Simmons drove that horse. Tom is with us here today. And I could be wrong about that, but I'm tempted to say Tom Simmons drove Air King for trainer Larry Reed in that memorable win at the Illinois State Fair.
With that, David, we'll pop in here for a moment, talk about the picks for the race 4 here, as all three of us kind of agree that UC Annie will be the winner of this race. If you look, it's had a great year.
That horse has came back into form, haven't they? Doing better. Almost made as much money already in 5 starts this year as entire last year. 3 for 3 the last 3 starts at the fairs we've watched. That horse has been real tight.
And you and Lisa went with Some Star Sandy for second place. Mm-hmm. And I went with Pascalina. I don't know. That horse, 4th and 5th this year, but I just like that horse.
Whatever it takes. If you like the horse, like the name, whatever your gut tells you, just follow it. It's a fair race. Anything could happen. We could be strung out, and Pascalina could win by just default sometimes.
Or you could break stride and win a race.
Yeah, I've seen.
Goodness gracious.
I've seen lots of stuff happen for sure.
And then in the third pick, MC Skyscraper 2, the Nick Prather horse. Yeah. And you and Lisa picked Paradise Tomorrow.
And that was Kurt sharing the story about how that horse was named last year. There's a little sentimental value. I want to cheer for that horse. That's kind of a cool story about Daryl Miller naming it because of his mom, when she was fighting cancer and saying she was going to paradise. She was content with that stage in her life. And, that gives family a lot of solace and comfort. So we want to cheer for them, on their behalf.
Absolutely. As we get ready for race 4, we're about 30% through, 33% through the race.
Kurt was just talking about Tom Simmons on Air King, and it reminded me of from the Backstretch. We keep asking for your favorite fair memory, and when Tom Simmons comes up, I happen to have one.
Okay.
When Doug and I were young, we used to pick on Tom a little bit and give him a hard time. We were that age where we were troublesome boys, and at the fairs, if Tom would sneak into a porta potty, Doug and I would hide behind something and throw rocks at it while he was in there and just pester him. When he popped out, we'd go hide somewhere so he couldn't find us. He called us one time and gave us a chewing, so it was a lot of fun. Good memories with Tom. He called me Tackle Box. I used to have piercings all over my face. He called me Tackle Box for years. So all those kind of fun stories about these fairs and racing and nicknames, we love hearing them.
Okay.
I was on top of Kurt, though.
The driver, number 5, Some Star Sandy, is Jordan Patton. Number 5, Some Star Sandy, Jordan Patton is the driver. Your program tells you there's a past performance line to be announced for number 1, MC Skyscraper 2. That pacer raced here. She raced yesterday in the Downstate Classic. She finished 6th, but keep in mind, the Downstate Classic, those are some of the best pacing fillies in the state of Illinois. That's the deep end of the pool, as horsemen like to say sometimes. So there's also a missing line for number 4, Paradise Tomorrow, who was 3rd in her division of the Downstate Classic yesterday. So if you were curious, number 1, MC Skyscaper 2 was 6th, and number 4, Paradise Tomorrow, was 3rd here yesterday. Let's meet the starters. Number 1 is MC Skyscaper 2, owned by Deborah McCrae of Atlanta, trained by Nick Prather, Jerome Daniels in the bike. 2, Pasqualina, owned by Eligio Boccia of Chicago Heights, Illinois, trained by Richard Finn, and the driver, Brendan Potts. Number 3, UCD UC Annie, already a 3-time winner this year, and in fact, she's unbeaten this season on the fair circuit. She's won at Martinsville, Carrollton, and Carlinville, owned by D. Phillips of Athens, Jamaica Patton of Rochester, trained and driven by Jamaica Patton. 4 is Paradise Tomorrow, owned by Kevin and Daryl Miller of Arthur, Glenn Otto of Arthur, and Lester Detweiler of Sullivan, trained by Kevin Miller, Wyatt Avenetti in the bike. And 5 is Some Star Sandy, owned by David and Adam Brooks from up at Cambridge, Illinois, not too awfully far from the Quad Cities area. David Brooks is the trainer, and Jordan Patton is the driver. Starter Stacy DeRoos calls for the field. They're headed to the gate. At the post, the gate is rolling. Here they come now around the west side of the course to the top of the stretch. Good to have you with us here on still a Saturday morning at the Macon County Fair. 4th race, here we go. Remembering our friend Larry Reed, and they are off and pacing, and a good start here. There goes number 5, Some Star Sandy, out for the early lead. Some Star Sandy from that far outside starting spot is up to challenge UCD, UC Annie as they swing around that first turn, and Paradise Tomorrow is part of that shuffle in between horses as well. UCD, UC Annie is over to the inside and now moves up the inside lane to take the lead. But here comes Some Star Sandy. There's no room along the inside lane, not yet for her. She's still on the outside and challenging UCD, UC Annie past the quarter-mile mark. 29 flat for the opening quarter, 29 seconds flat, so they zipped the opening quarter, fastest one so far on this day. Race 4 of our 11 here this morning and this afternoon. UCD UC Annie still has a narrow lead. Some Star Sandy going a tough trip. She was toward the outside, went the long way around both the east turn and the west turn. And then you've got Paradise Tomorrow, who dropped over to save some ground around that west turn in that 3rd position. We'll see if that pays off for her. Pasqualina is 4th, and MC Skyscaper 2 is 5th. 59 and 3 for the first half mile, 59 and 3/5 seconds. We told you we've got horsepower all day and all night here at the fair today. The original horsepower on the backstretch, and you've got a lot of horsepower coming up tonight in that truck and tractor pull. And right now it is UCD, UC Annie, who's on the lead as they go to the 3/4, and leads it, opens up here on a 3-length margin, looking to score her 4th consecutive win, and she looks like she's well on her way. 1:29 and 3, the time at the 3/4 mile mark. 1 minute 29 and 3/5 seconds. Around the final turn, UCD, UC Annie, a 5-length advantage now. Paradise Tomorrow moves up the inside lane into 2nd. Some Star Sandy is now 3rd, then MC Skyscaper 2 and Pasqualina. No catching. UCD, UC Annie, 4 in a row and remains unbeaten this year on the Illinois Fair Circuit. UCD, UC Annie won it by a length and a half. Paradise Tomorrow did make up a lot of ground to be 2nd. Some Star Sandy was 3rd. MC Skyscaper 2 was 4th, and Pasqualina 5th. 2:01 flat was the time for the mile. 2:01 flat, fastest mile so far on the day. UCD, UC Annie, number 3, your winner. Horseman, you may come to the track, race 5. Recapping the fractions, it was 29 seconds flat at the quarter. The first half mile, 59 and 3. 3 quarters, 129 and 3, and the mile in 2:01 flat. UCD, UC Annie, your winner.
And our race 4 pick a winner is once again Vicky Wilson. Have you been stuffing the ballot box? The crowd is calling foul.
Okay, David. Again, but all three of us picked that one. And I'm looking back here to see what did we pick. Everybody pick out here just on my screen for this, but we got the first one right. And
yeah, I swapped my second and third choice.
Yeah, I picked the number 2. It finished 5, so I didn't do really well there. And
Jamaica did get the win, survived the steward's inquiry, and he's right back with a different pacing filly today. How about a hand for Jamaica Patton with UCD, UC Annie? Members of the Larry Reed family trackside, along with Sheriff Jim Root and our fair president and speed superintendent Evan Hall, to congratulate Jamaica, who not only trains and drives but is also the co-owner. He comes to us out of Rochester, Illinois. Dee Phillips, the co-owner of Athens, Illinois. Dee bred this pacer in partnership with her husband Ron Phillips. Some Star Somewhere, the sire of this 3-year-old pacing filly, 4 in a row. You know, folks, Jamaica Patton started coming up to the fairs when he was probably no more than, I'm going to guess, 18 to 20 years of age. Came up to Illinois from his home in Clinton, Mississippi. He said, I like Illinois, I want to live there, and he is a resident of Illinois. Jamaica Patton, your winner here in race 4. It's been one of the great things about harness racing over the years, and Jamaica's a great example of that. He said, I love that state, I want to be a resident of that state. I know he's still fond of home as well. I know Mississippi still means a lot to him as well. Well, here's the full field rundown for that 4th race from the top. MC Skyscaper 2 finished 4. Pasqualina was 5. UCD, UC Annie, the winner. Paradise Tomorrow, the runner-up, and Some Star Sandy finished 3rd. The quarter in 29 seconds. The half in 59 and 3. 3 quarters, 129 and 3, and the time for the mile in 2:01 flat, and it reached down 4:51.23. Race 5 is coming up, 2nd division of the Larry Reed Memorial. The driver of number 4, IYQ and Only You, Jordan Patton. Number 4, IYQ and Only You, Jordan Patton will be your driver. Big flip.
Located in the beautiful countryside of Brown County, Rolling Greens is one of the most beautiful 18-hole championship golf courses in west central Illinois. The golf course offers Monday unlimited play for just $27. Ladies' Day on Tuesday and Senior Day is Wednesday. Play 18 holes with a cart and get a hot dog and chips for $28. Rolling Greens memberships are inexpensive and include free range balls, discounted league play, and an opportunity to play as few or as many holes as you desire daily. Call for a tee time today at Rolling Greens, 217-773-3085.
Okay, David, as we come back, we want people to like and subscribe to us. Again, that helps us out in a lot of different ways. We want to thank you for all that you do.
And you know, I'll take this time to go ahead and point out that QR code. Go ahead and point your camera phone at that camera at the screen, and the camera will pick up that QR code on the top. If you touch the button there, you should go to a landing page that has our schedule of events, places to find our YouTube, our Facebook, donation pages, and a place to type in your email address and your name, so hopefully we can get an email newsletter going out here pretty soon.
Did you say it had the YouTube changed? Is it at...
Oh! Yeah, so talking about getting the subscription level, good call, Steve, thank you. We hit the 500, and I was messing around in behind the scenes on YouTube the other day, and I think we changed that handle to at YouTube. We're just now at HarnessTube. There's no IL. when I was creating this channel, I messed up and associated that handle with my personal name and not the business profile. So I had to mess with it, but hopefully we have it back now. I'll change that, and our next broadcast should be fine.
All right. With that going on, the other thing is we want to have a drawing here. So it is. We want to give away a $100 certificate. Tell about that,
and,
David.
You know, Rob Grismore was making sure I put him in the drawing. He was commenting in the chat earlier. But we want to put all of our fans. You know, we have over 500 subscribers. We have more than that in the fan world. We want to get everyone into a big group, hopefully, and try to get everyone in a big pot, draw a name, and give out a $100 gift certificate to Design by Des. That's Travis Siekman's wife, Desiree Siekman, over there in Indiana. Does a great job. You know, making custom material, custom apparel, custom tack, custom stable, you know, equipment, all that kind of good stuff. Or if you don't have a horse, you know, if you just want a local, you know, a shirt to maybe cheer for your daughter at the high school softball game or something, she designs it apparel. So, or I'm still thinking the whole helmet idea. She's doing helmets now. Horsemen need helmets. It's a cool idea to hopefully get some new paint jobs on the tracks around here. We are dealing with some technical difficulties. The camera is being temperamental again, but we'll just work with it as best we can.
We'll see what happens.
And stay on the slides until we get that fixed, and hopefully we can just keep...
Yeah, we'll just go to the next slide and talk about the racing coming up here.
I don't know what you have coming up on your slides. I can't see that far.
Okay, we'll talk about the next race, race 5. As we look at our picks here, Lisa and I picked the number 1 horse, Big Flicka, Matt Avenatti driven horse. Finished 6th here yesterday. I look for more for better things out of that. You picked the 4 horse IYQ in Only You, driven by Jordan Patton. A driver change today.
I think did Big Flicka win yesterday? Okay, I'm reading. Big
Flicka got 6th, I think.
The 6th was at Springfield. Yesterday said Decatur line to be announced. That's not in the program. The program was printed before they raced yesterday. So I'm pretty sure Big Flicka won yesterday.
So we lost number 1 altogether.
She said she's lost the big monitor 3 times. Have another power cord.
So we have another power cord. Yes, we do.
For that monitor?
Yes. Hang on.
Okay. Want me to run it over?
Yeah. I'll get it, and we can do that.
Perfect. We'll keep talking about race 5, then I'll handicap race 5 as Steve goes and digs through the van for equipment. But on top, I went to the 4, IYQ and Only You. You know, and I like my, you know, nothing against Junior Patton here, but Jordan in the bike, you know, maybe races a little hotter. Maybe he's going to try to set the pace a little more and push the pace a little bit more and try to challenge Matt Avenatti and Big Flicka. I went with the Big Flicka to finish 2nd. Big Flicka's been racing really good for the Fletcher barn. They've picked up Matt Avenatti in the bike lately, and Matt's doing a good job driving for him. So I went ahead and just used him 2nd. And for my 3rd choice, went down to Jerome Daniels, Little Mama. Jerome does a good job of racing some nice, clean races. If he can kind of stay close to the pack and pick up some pieces late, he might finish 3rd there. So I'm going to toss it back to Steve and run across the track real quick.
Go straight down. It's a little harder for her to read it. That's going to make it better.
Back with you on the broadcast as we get ready to go here and try to get the camera fixed. Again, we're having video difficulties going on right now, so we'll stay where we're at with things. But yeah, want to let you know that we're having those difficulties with the broadcast. Today, for some reason, the camera keeps going in and out. We haven't had a problem all year long with that as we get ready for race 5. And David will get across and see if he can get that fixed before things happen here. But we're seeing some things. I'm not so sure that she didn't lose full power over there, but we'll see what happens in the broadcast and what's going on. But with you on the broadcast here. And I tell you what, I'm going to go back to the track announcer if he comes on. And I'm going to try to check on a couple of things.
Horses are on the track for race 5, the second division of the Illinois Big Ten Colt Stakes, 3-year-old filly Pace in the Larry Reed Memorial. Couple of driver changes on the 4, IYQ and Only You. Remember, that'll be Jordan Patton. That's number 4, IYQ and Only You, Jordan Patton. The driver, number 5, Fox Valley Beacon, Brendan Potts, is in the race bike. Number 5, Fox Valley Beacon, Brendan Potts is the driver. Remembering Larry Reed today, we were taking a look back through the record books earlier this morning. Larry raced and won at the Chicago Paramutuals. He raced and won at all kinds of county fairs around central Illinois. Raced and won with horses at the Illinois State Fair, the DuQuoin State Fair. When he showed up, his horses were ready to race, and the record books will back that up. Just all kinds of memorable wins statewide for Larry Reed. And we remember him with this Big Ten 3-year-old filly Pace, and here comes the second division, race 5. Number 1 is Big Flicka. Now, this is the filly Big Flicka, who yesterday won the Downstate Classic, capturing her division right around this same time here yesterday, right around 12 noon. Owned by Nan Turner of Argenta, trained by John Fletcher. Matt Avenatti is in the race bike. 2 is Lil Mama, owned, trained, and driven by Jerome Daniels of Springfield. 3 is Carrot Top Moose, owned by Carla Santos of Springfield, trained by Dossie Minor, Alexander Conte in the bike. Number 4, IYQ and Only You, owned by Bart Seals of Altamont, trained by Freddie Patton Jr. Jordan Patton will drive. And number 5, Fox Valley Beacon, owned by Chase Porter of DuQuoin, trained by Richard Finn. And a reminder, the driver is Brendan Potts. Headed to the gate, race 5. One of my favorite memories of Larry Reed took place not at the races, but at a horse auction. Larry had an ability to see potential where maybe sometimes others didn't, and the reason this sticks in my mind, my late father, Carl, was a breeder of standard-bred horses, and he had a sire by the name of Armbro Rick. And Armbro Rick had a couple of good years. Then he had a down year where his offspring hadn't won a lot of races. And I remember my dad was nervous going to the yearling sales that fall. Would anybody be interested in buying a son or daughter of Armbro Rick? And as it turned out, Larry Reed showed up at the sale. And whereas a lot of horsemen hadn't shown much interest that year, Larry came by and he said to my dad, I'd like to see a couple of those yearlings out of the stall. And he ended up buying one of those yearlings, racing that colt, and did very well with him in the early 1980s. And that has always remained in my mind for 2 reasons. Number 1, I remember riding home with my dad from the sale, and my father said, I was relieved when Larry Reed came up. At least somebody was interested and wanted to see some of those colts. That was number 1. And number 2, I remember Dad saying that colt will get a fair chance in Larry's barn. That colt will have every opportunity to be a good horse, and indeed, as it turned out, he was. But the ability to see potential in a young, unproven horse where maybe others didn't always see it, that was one of Larry's strengths as a horseman. At the post, the gates rolling, race 5 here at the Decatur Macon County Fair. Top of the stretch. Here they come. They are off and pacing, and there goes Big Flicka. The favorite goes right out for the early lead. Carrot Top Moose comes away in the second position. Fox Valley Beacon is away racing third up on the outside. Lil Mama is fourth toward the inside. IYQ and Only You last of the 5. Carrot Top Moose is off stride. Carrot Top Moose off stride. Pacers move by to the left and to the right. Everybody moves by safely, and Carrot Top Moose now the distant trailer. But up front, Big Flicka is all alone here. She's already opened up by 10 lengths as they go on by the quarter-mile mark. 28 and 4, fastest opening quarter so far on the day. 28 and 4/5 seconds. It is Big Flicka who shows the way around that west end of the racetrack. And Big Flicka has opened up by a dozen lengths now for driver Matt Avenatti, who also drove her here yesterday. Side by side for the second position, Fox Valley Beacon on the outside, Lil Mama to the inside. That's the battle for second coming to the half. IYQ and Only You has caught up with that pair as they go on by the half-mile mark, and Carrot Top Moose is the distant trailer. 58 and 4 for the first half mile, 58 and 4/5 seconds. For Big Flicka, this has almost turned into a training mile. She is so far out in front now as they head toward the three-quarter. That's no lack of respect for the others. Those other fillies are good fillies in their own right. It just speaks to the ability of Big Flicka that she has opened up here by 15 lengths by the time they reach the three-quarter mile mark. It's been a dandy battle for second because IYQ and Only You is on the outside and Lil Mama's to the inside as they continue to go at it for that second spot. 1:29 and 2 the time at the three-quarter mile mark, 1:29 and 2. Big Flicka could almost coast home from here. Top of the stretch, her advantage 18 lengths back to Lil Mama. Give Lil Mama credit. She has been fighting for second ever since the drop of the green flag here, and she's still trying to hang on to second, but Big Flicka, much the best. Big Flicka goes back-to-back here at the Macon County Fair. Big Flicka won it by a margin of 18 lengths. It was Lil Mama, and again, the connections of Lil Mama. Jerome Daniels has to be thrilled. Yeah, she didn't win, but that filly never got a chance to rest. She was under pressure the whole time and hung on for second. IYQ and Only You was third. Fox Valley Beacon was across the line fourth. Carrot Top Moose fifth. 2 minutes flat. 2 minutes flat the time for the mile.
Your race number 5, pick a winner is Mr. Jack Patterson. Jack Patterson, please come on down to the front of the grandstands and collect your $5 bill. You're halfway to a lemon shake-up.
Recapping the fractions for race 5, it was 28 and 4 at the quarter, 58 and 4 at the half. 3 quarters in 1:29 and 2, and the time for the mile was 2 minutes flat. Big Flicka had a good year last year for owner Nan Turner and trainer John Fletcher, winning the County Fair Challenge, kind of the championship event, you might say, for the County Fair circuit. And she won the County Fair Challenge at the DuQuoin State Fair in late August last year. She actually was runner-up here a year ago. Early in her 2-year-old season, she finished runner-up here at the Macon County Fair to a filly by the name of Sour Grapes. But this filly's come back strong at age 3. She's your Downstate Classic winner this year, and she has just won her division of the Larry Reed Memorial. How about a hand for Big Flicka? And how appropriate that Larry Reed Memorial blanket. Stable colors for Larry, the blue with the white trim. Our thanks to the members of the Reed family for taking time to be with us here today. As that blanket now is presented down trackside, congratulations being offered to John Fletcher and driver Wyatt Avenatti and owner Nan Turner, who stands near the head of this horse, as Big Flicka has won for the 9th time in her career. Win number 8 was yesterday in the Downstate Classic, and win number 9 coming here today. And yesterday was a nice milestone for that driver, Mr. Matt Avenatti. That was his first ever Downstate Classic win. So congratulations belatedly, Matt. We didn't mention that yesterday, but you and Brother Wyatt both got your first Downstate Classic wins. John Fletcher, congratulations to you, and Nan Turner, our winning owner. Let's check in with Evan Hall.
Kurt, we're standing here with the winner, Miss Nan Turner, here as a local Macon County resident and a Macon County horse owner. Yeah, a lot of history here in this track. We'd like to talk to you. Tell us a little bit about why this race is special, if you would.
Larry Reed and assistant Danny Reed taught us a lot about the business. They backed us up. We went to Balmoral. We had a lot of fun. And it's a pleasure to receive this blanket. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Kurt. Thank you.
And thank you, Evan. And interesting to hear those observations from Nan Turner, and it's great. It's always fun to see when we remember a Macon County horseman. It's fun to see a Macon County owner take home the win in those races. Doesn't always work out that way, but I know it means a lot to those Macon County owners. It's always fun to win, but especially meaningful to win a memorial race of this nature. And one other note before we give you the rundown. I remember last year that some of the younger members of the Larry Reed family, there are grandkids, for example, that never really had a chance to know Larry, but they are curious about what he did and what he accomplished in the horse business. And that was wonderful to see that the young people in the family, they want to know, they want to hear about Larry and what he accomplished and where he raced. So horsemen, don't ever be afraid to speak up and share a few stories, because families enjoy the chance to reminisce about those family members. And again, to the Reed family, thank you so much for being here today. Been great to see you all as we remember Larry Reed. Here's the full field rundown for race 5. From the top, Big Flicka was the winner. Lil Mama, the runner-up. Carrot Top Moose finished 5. IYQ and Only You finished 3. And Fox Valley Beacon finished 4. The quarter, 28 and 4/5 seconds. The half in 58 and 4. 3 quarters, 129 and 2. And the mile in 2 minutes flat. And it reads down 1:25.34. Race 6 is on the way. This will be the first division of the Illinois Big Ten Colt Stakes. 3-year-old colt and gelding pace, the Jerry Foster Memorial. A reminder that in race 6, the driver of number 3, Sailor Sam, is Tom Simmons. Number 3, Sailor Sam. A reminder, the driver will be Tom Simmons. Also, we owe you a past performance line on number 4, Scrappy Coming Up. And Scrappy Coming Up, number 4 in this race, raced well here yesterday, was second, and only got beat a half length in his division of the Downstate Classic, and he paced his mile in 2 minutes flat. So Scrappy Coming Up, runner-up, beaten a half length yesterday in the Downstate Classic, pacing a mile in 2 minutes flat.
All right, back with you on Harness Tube as we try to get our camera issues worked out. It was an extension cord issue, and David's back over. We got a temporary fix. Hopefully he's back over with a permanent fix over there, as I saw that the camera just went down. So we'll switch over to another view here as Harness Tube, you want to advertise with us, there's several ways that you can help us out financially. One is a 30-second commercial. You can be in all the races that we do. We're going to be up to a total of probably 21 before the year's over, at least. We're about a quarter of the way through after we get done today. We'll have 5 races into that, so we've got 16 left. So you can think about going back to that. And then also after that, we have got... you can do what we call billboard sponsorship. Billboard sponsorship basically is your banner across the screen, kind of what you see right now here with us. As it looks like David's got some things hooked back up. Nope, it just lost it again. So we'll see what happens with that as they try to correct the issue with it and see what happens as they reconnect some wires and do some things to get it back.
Building is having not
and
only
get things going over there. I'll let you see. They've got a little bit of grass there, and they'll get things going here rather quickly.
Hear a lot of good things down there. A lot of good competition. A lot of high-quality birds, high-quality tree projects.
David on his way back over, but you can advertise with us. Do the banner or the billboard ad like they have right there, and then you say, well, I don't want to do anything with my business. You donate to help us be on the air. And like I said, this is we've had more issues today than we had in a whole year, but that's not going to be the case as we get things kind of figured out with what's going on with our equipment. And so as they thought it was a plug-in issue, got
Mr. Tom Simmons passing in front of the grandstand with number 3 Sailor Sam.
Our gym thus far, and I think we've received
40th anniversary for Tom and Benita Simmons. And that's tomorrow. So, folks, how about some early happy anniversary wishes to Tom and Tom with it
at Harness Tube on Venmo, at Harness Tube on PayPal. 353. As we get ready for the next race, we're taking a look at this. As I just tell you on the last race, all of us, Lisa and I picked the 1 horse to win. David picked the 4. The 4 finished in 3rd, and that should have been the 4. So I got 1 out of practice. The others missed it. Let's take a look at this race and what's going on. And Tom Simmons, the driver of Sailor Sam, we're talking online. We'll send that back to Kurt. And so Ashley's Silver Guy, that's a sentimental favorite, actually, of everybody up here in the booth as David gets back. And we have camera.
We have video. Good.
Got everything solved?
I don't know.
Okay.
We have it plugged in. It's working. New solution. Hopefully it's a better solution.
Okay. All right. We're talking about the picks. Everybody picked a 2 horse. Is the favorite there. And the pick that, I mean, the track record of this horse this year.
And for a horse to win over 1/3 of its lifetime starts, I don't care what winner circle knows how to race. It's tough to overlook.
And so with that in the second place, we all varied in the second place horse. Lisa picked Scrappy Coming Up. Again, Cornelius Cavett driven horse. You picked down. That's a horse that was talked about quite a bit from the Brown County Fair last year.
Absolutely. That horse belongs to the Greer. Francis Snoz Greer passed away recently at the age of 9. A lot of good trotters. Had a good pacer at the end of his life named Skeeter Machine. But we want to give our tip of our hat and thank you to Jim and Teresa for watching up in Peoria and all they do. They're donors last year, good friends of the family. We wish them luck with downtown Lee.
The 4 horse, Lisa picked it. I picked the 1 horse. Ashley's Silver Guy didn't pick it anywhere in his.
Well, I've been jinxing them, so maybe I'm trying a different option today.
Okay, we'll see if that works. horse Scrappy coming up in that next spot. And again, that's another good horse.
I look for this to be a hot race. We're gonna go fast today.
My prediction, Lisa goes, and they're getting ready to do the parade here. We're going to go to Kurt Becker.
Starters are Let's meet the starters for race 6, the first division of the Illinois Big Ten Colt Stakes 3-year Memorial. Number 1, Ashley Silver Guy, owned by Carol Cox of Huntsville, trained by Richard Finn. Mike is in the bike. Number 2, I Understand, owned by Kevin Miller of Arthur. He's the trainer. The driver, Wyatt Avenetti. 3, Sailor Sam, owned by Benita Simmons of Springfield, trained and also driven by Tom Simmons. 4, Scrap of Jackson, Tennessee. He's the trainer. Milton Greer of Jackson, Tennessee, also an owner. Cornelius Cavett, the driver. Number 5, Downtown of Peoria, trained by Nick Prather. Jerome Daniels is in the bike. 6, Dandy's Tornado is owned by Chase Porter of DuQuoin. And number 7, Some Beach Rollin', owned by Eric and Rosalind James of McGee, Mississippi, trained and driven by Stephen Halford. Race 6. Remembering Jerry, a number of years, served as our superintendent of speed. Believe he also served on the Downstate Classic board. Was born in Decatur, resident lifelong of Macon County. We remember Jerry Foster here in the Big Ten, 3-year-old colt and gelding pace. Right now they are at the post, the gates rolling. Probably one of the big questions here, can Scrappy coming up improve by one? The Downstate Classic comes right back today to see here in race 6. Field is midway on the west turn, getting ready for the start. Here they come. They are off and pacing. There goes Scrappy. Downtown Leroy Brown comes away in 3rd. I Understand is off stride. A lot of speed into that first turn, but then broke stride, gets to the perimeter of the turn. Everybody else files at the front. Scrappy coming up, leads it by a length over Ashley Silver Guy, and second a length and a half to Downtown Leroy. On the outside, moving by Sailor Sam in 5th. I Understand moves up in 6th. 30 and 3/5 seconds was the time. As Some Beach Rollin' will drop out to the back. Dandy's Tornado is moving up on the outside. First up now, that outer flow of traffic. Dandy's Tornado has been picking off positions one by one. Up the half, but the leader is Scrappy coming up. Scrappy coming up is the leader by a length as they're halfway home here in race. Ashley Silver Guy 3rd. 102-1 for the first half mile. 102-1. And is 5th up on the outside, continues to move up with cover, but still 4 lengths off the lead. Gap of 2 more lengths to Sailor Sam, who is back toward the inside next to last. And Some Beach Rollin' is alongside that one at the back as they go to the 3/4. As Scrappy coming up is the leader. I Understand is going a big trip. 3 wide, now double wide, has gone from last to second onto the final turn. 133-3 was the time with the 3/4. 133-3. Scrappy coming up has a 3-length lead. I Understand is now second. Ashley Silver Guy is 3rd, and then Downtown Leroy Brown is 4th. Scrappy coming up has answered the challenge. Second yesterday, comes today. Cornelius Cavett in the race bike. Big Trip to be second. Sailor Sam rallied on the grandstand side, picked up a lot of positions down the stretch to be third. Downtown Leroy Brown fourth. Ashley Silver Guy fifth. Then it was Dandy's Tornado in sixth, and Some Beach Rollin' was seventh. 2:03 flat. The time for the mile, 2:03 flat. Scrappy coming up, your winner. Recapping the fractions in race 6, it was 30 and 3/5 for the opening quarter, the half in 102 and 1/5, 3/4 133 and 3/5. The time for the mile, 2:03 flat. Number 4, your winner, Scrappy, coming up.
Till Kurt kicks in here. David, another good race. Scrappy coming up. The favorite there as far as that was concerned.
This pacer raced a Big Trip yesterday, was on the front end, set the pace in his division of the Downstate Classic, and just got caught in the final stride at the wire. And after racing a big mile yesterday, comes right back, goes right to the lead, straight away from the gate, and today comes home a winner. How about a hand for the Iron Tough Scrappy coming up? Congratulations to Leroy Hunt and Milton Greer of Jackson, Tennessee. They not only own this pacer, they bred him. So they have known him from the time he was a baby. They've watched this horse grow up. The horse has just won for the 6th time in his career. He's won 2 of his last 3 starts. Another winner for the reigning Illinois Pacing Stallion of the Year, Some Star Somewhere, as Cornelius Cavett drives for trainer Leroy Hunt. And there is the Jerry Foster Memorial Blanket. Green was a prominent stable color in the Foster stable, so once again, appropriate. Green with white trim and lettering here for the Jerry Foster Memorial in race number 6. I think that when it comes to Mr. Leroy Hunt and Mr. Milton Greer, they deserve a lot of credit for putting a very appropriate name on this horse, Scrappy, because that's what this horse is. This is a scrappy racehorse who's a fighter, and he has shown it here this week. Congratulations, folks. Scrappy coming up. Here's the full field rundown. It's official for race 6. From the top, Ashley Silver Guy finished 5. I Understand, with a big effort, was the runner-up. Sailor Sam came flying late to grab 3rd. Scrappy coming up was the winner. Downtown Leroy Brown was 4th. Dandy's Tornado was 6th. Some Beach Rollin' was 7th. Opening quarter, 30 and 3/5. The opening half mile, 102 and 1. 3/4, 133 and 3/5. The time for the mile, 2:03, and it reads down 5:23, 1:4.67. Let's check in with Evan Hall.
And your pick-a-winner is Cheryl Haynes. Cheryl Haynes, please come down to the front of the grandstands and collect your crisp new $5 bill. The cash box is getting low. They say you get 5 ones. I stand corrected.
And thank you, Evan. A reminder, a lot of driver changes in the upcoming 7th race. Number 1, Frontier Dawson, make the driver Tom Simmons. Tom Simmons drives number 1. Number 2, Holy Lucifer, make the driver Matt Avenatti. Matt Avenatti. And on number 4, Michelle's Girl Crush, the driver Jordan Patton. Jordan Patton is the driver for number 4, Michelle's Girl Crush. We also on number 2, Holy Lucifer, got a top 5 here yesterday in the Downstate Classic. Again, a for Holy Lucifer. want to take a moment and thank our racing officials. Of course, Evan is our superintendent of speed. He's also the head of the Downstate Classic and the president of our fair board here in Macon County. He's got a good staff he's put together. Your presiding judge today is Mr. Randy Callahan. Jim Austin was here yesterday. Pete Skeffington is your timer, the assistant timer, Scott Beal. The starter is Stacy DeRoos. Aaron DeRoos is driving the starting gate. The clerk of the course is Leanne Shin. The charter is her brother Tom Shin. Photo finish technician is Emma Schrock. Our thanks to Patricia Fryman Photography, our trackside winner's circle photographer. And thanks again to all the folks from the Decatur Camera Club. They have been taking some tremendous...
Okay, David, let's talk a little bit. I think I'm right here. We're into race 7. Let's talk about our schedule.
That helps. There we go. Our schedule, yeah, they're fine. We'll throw it up on the screen here. So we're at Decatur today, finishing up Decatur Day 2. We move on to Cambridge. In a couple weeks, we have a little layoff here. Steve and I are going to try to put our brains together and come up with some ideas to do some things. Right after Cambridge, a week later, we end up at Rushville, back to Knoxville. A new track, Farmer City. We were asked to go there last year, couldn't make it. Tried to squeeze it in this year, so we'll be over there on the 15th. Followed up with Petersburg, adding another new fair in Paris on our way down to the Urbana area. Back to Lewiston. That's kind of a home track for us. It's only an hour away. Lincoln, the 28th. And Lincoln, the 29th as well, if I remember right.
There you go.
Then we get to the end of the schedule where we start cramming them all together. We go down south to Charleston on the 31st is a Wednesday, over to Altamont on that Thursday, back to Charleston on Friday, go home Saturday, Sunday, and then run all the way back down across the state to Marshall for the 5th on that Monday. That's where we're tentative schedule. We're pretty sure we can work that in, but we have some talking to do. I need to get him some pictures and whatnot, but we'll work it all out.
All right, the other thing is from the Backstretch. We want to hear from you folks. You can go to harnesstube@gmail.com, send us an email with pictures or just comments or whatever.
We appreciate everyone jumping in the chat and text and groups. I'm getting some phone calls. I see Tyler was... We're kind of running around like madmen today. I'm not really sitting by my computer like I had been, but we still want to hear from you. I am checking it. When I get back to my desk, I try to pull up the chats and try to pull up the emails and write down anybody who happened to have jumped in when I was away. So we are...
Yeah, you can do that, 312-772-5122, or chat with us on YouTube about your fair memories, your harness race memories, and just share your favorite things on it.
And I didn't get it said before that last race, but Doug and I used to throw rocks at Tom Simmons when he was in a porta potty. He'd come out hooping and hollering and chasing us with his whip and whatnot. And the story I was telling him how I used to have a lot of piercings. I had ear piercings and nose piercing and all that kind of good. Yes. There was a time.
Human pincushion, huh?
Well, I was called tackle box. Tom said it looked like I fell face first into a tackle box. So for about 18, 19, 20 years old, that's all he called me around these fairs. So, these are the kind of memories we want you to share with us because, it might be a personal memory, but it might remind us of something. It might remind somebody else of something. It might make the person who you're talking about smile. So, we want to work together to get these stories out in the ether on the internet for us.
And like you say, we have put some of these up here so that you can see.
These pictures are so cool. It still blows my mind that here we are, being watched in public places when this broadcast, and it's the fair racing. I grew up watching this stuff as a kid and loving it, and to see it broadcast out, to see it available for people in a professional setting, a professional atmosphere, really kind of tugs at my heartstrings.
As we go into race 7, Vertical Speed is a horse that all three of us picked. Again, that horse has done really well this year with 2 seconds and a first in this field. I would call it the front-running horse. Then in the second place, Lisa and David picked Michelle's Girl Crush. Michelle's Girl Crush, a good horse, got a second in Carlinville with that race. And then I picked the number 2 horse, Holy Lucifer, driven today by Matt Evanetti. That horse is, I forgot what it did yesterday in Decatur, but
And the Matt, I know Wyatt might be our reigning county fair driving champion, but let's not sleep on Matt, guys. Matt's the older brother, and he can drive a horse with the best of them too. So he's picking up some live drives, some live mounts lately. Saw him driving for Big Flicka the last couple of days, getting a couple of wins. I kind of like that 2-horse.
Well, and then a kind of a sentimental favorite that I didn't pick in the third spot is Wizard Shark. You and Lisa both picked that horse. I picked the Michelle's Girl Crush.
My fingers are still crossed. That horse can get his head screwed on straight. He had a rough outing that first trip at Carrollton, and sometimes that can just knock your confidence down a little bit. He's a little stubborn, or I should say he's hard-headed. He has his idea of what he wants to do, but he has a really natural way of going. Barely touches the ground when he paces. Just kind of flicks along real even-footed. So I still have hope at some point in this horse's life he might do something big, so I'm going to keep using him when I can.
All right, and that's your racing. We're getting close to post time here, and so we'll turn Kurt Becker back up, and as soon as he pops back in, we will start with him. But
I see him glancing through the binoculars. So.
A windy day today, and again, they have tractor pulling and truck pulling here tonight.
And we don't want to complain too much because, that is the night entertainment. Support tractor pulls. We have friends who tractor pull, and Brown County is one of the largest tractor pulls in the state, So the heritage there in Brown County between horse racing and tractor pull, we want to work with our fellow entertainers to put on a good show for the fair. We want to work with the fellow exhibitors to get people from the community out to the fairgrounds and sitting in the grandstand and watching a race or a pull or something. Just Detweiler went by the grandstand in those first few races. That pop when the crowd starts cheering and clapping. There's nothing.
And that's what a lot of your obscure viewing is here. Do we wish it wasn't there? Yes. We can't say that we don't. But
that's the charm, right?
Yep.
We're not the NFL. We're not broadcasting you a perfect clean up, and we deal with them the best we can. But if you were here, you might be friends with these tractor pull guys. You might go walk through the pits and ask them questions. Providing good, wholesome, family fun.
Well, it's a one-camera operation.
As soon as we have Dandy's Ladies Band and Wizard Shark,
say, well, the
lives being a smaller operation, we can't hide some of that stuff from the movie. Do those? We'd start calling all of our favorites to get people out. We would, but a Little Brown Jug professional level, look like something you would see on NBC syndication. Just manpower, and the manpower just to kind of cover some of those gaffes that happen that you can't predict and you can't fix.
There's
Ladies'
manpower,
the best manpower. I tell you,
we have the most time available to do some things.
And you mentioned some internships, some student options. If you have any interest in broadcasting or film.
On the track for race 7.
It'd be interesting what you see.
Let's meet the starters for the second division of the Jerry Foster Memorial. The Big 10 3-year-old Colton, owned by Benita Simmons of Springfield, trained and driven by Tom Simmons. Number 2, Holy Lucifer, owned by Diane and Carol Hayes of Williamsville, trained by Carol Hayes, and the driver is Matt Avenetti. Number is Wyatt Avenetti. Number 4, Michelle's Girl Crush, owned by David and Adam Brooks of Cambridge, trained by David Brooks, the driver Jordan Patton. Number 5, Dandy's Ladies Man, is owned by Chase Porter of DuQuoin, trained by Richard Finn, the driver Brendan Potts. And number 6, Wizard Shark, owned by Rogers. Headed to the gate, race 7.
Now you see why I say hardwire anywhere.
We're getting some Buffy.
There's a pleasant and breezy 71 degrees on this Saturday after Macon County Fair, race 7 of our 11 on this Illinois Big 10 Colt Stakes card today. 24. At the post, gates rolling as they work our way toward the stages of the program, getting ready here for the second division of the top of the stretch. About to crown another winner here today and about to play another pick-a-winner contest. They're off and pacing. There goes Vertical Speed. Vertical Speed grabs the racetrack, goes right. Holy Lucifer tries to go with him to the inside as they move around the first turn. It'll be Vertical Speed up to the front now and leads it. Matt Avenatti and Holy Lucifer will get a good trip right in the second position around that first turn and onto the backstretch. Gap of 3 lengths. Frontier Dawson moves up the inside in third. Michelle's Girl Crush is in fourth. Dandy's Ladies Man sneaks up along the inside lane, a closer fifth, and Wizard Shark is sixth, about 7 lengths off the lead as they go on by the quarter mile mark. 29 and 4, good solid pace here early on. 29 and 4/5 seconds. Vertical Speed is the leader. The brothers Avenatti go 1-2. You've got Wyatt leading with Vertical Speed. You've got Matt in second with Holy Lucifer. Then a gap of 2 lengths back to Frontier Dawson, who travels along in the third position. Dandy's Ladies Man moves up the inside and is now challenging Michelle's Girl Crush for that fourth position. And then behind that pair, Wizard Shark is back in the sixth spot, still 7 lengths from the front. 101 and 1 for the first half mile, 101 and 1/5. Back around the east side of the course they go. Vertical Speed is still the leader, but only by a length. Holy Lucifer is right there second. So the leader, Vertical Speed, already a winner this year, and in fact just won a few days ago at the fair at Carlinville in Macoupin County. And Holy Lucifer, looking for a first career victory, continues to draft right in behind the leader. Then there's a gap of 5 more lengths back to Michelle's Girl Crush, who is third up on the outside. Frontier Dawson is next, then Dandy's Ladies Man. 1:32 and 2, the time at the 3/4. 1 minute 32 and 2/5 seconds. Around the final turn they go. Vertical Speed is the leader for Wyatt Avenatti by a length. Can his brother Matt catch him with Holy Lucifer? Here comes Holy Lucifer to the outside, coming after Vertical Speed. We know this much, and Avenatti's going to win this race. Which one? It's going to be Wyatt. Wyatt Avenatti wins with Vertical Speed, home in front by a length and a half. Good effort by Holy Lucifer, who's runner-up. 8 more lengths back to Michelle's Girl Crush in third, followed by Dandy's Ladies Man in fourth. Another 10 lengths back then to Frontier Dawson fifth. Wizard Shark was sixth. 2:01 and 3. 2:01 and 3/5 of a second. Wyatt Avenatti winning with Vertical Speed. Recapping the fractions in race 7, it was 29 and 4 at the quarter. The opening half mile in 101 and 1/5. 3/4, 132 and 2/5. The time for the mile, 2:01 and 3/5 of a second. Good last quarter, and 29 and 1. Last half in a minute 2/5 for a time of 2:01 and 3.
David will pop in here a second.
Right.
Everybody got the 3-horse correct. And the second horse, I was the only one that got that correct. And guess what?
Our pick-a-winner for race number 7 is Sherry Thomas.
I got the
whole trifecta?
The whole trifecta.
I was the one talking up Matt, too, finishing second. I didn't even pick him in my trifecta. Well, good for you. Congratulations.
Well, driver changes. We picked these 3 days ago.
Yeah, so, it does change, you know.
So it changes, and we a lot of times don't change our picks accordingly.
And not that Matt is a better driver pick over Wyatt, brother Wyatt, who is listed on the card, but, you know, different drivers have different hands and different temperaments, and things kind of go differently. So it's always interesting to pay attention to those driver changes when we give them to you.
Okay. We're going to do the winner's circle, then we'll take a commercial break after we do the winner's circle.
On the day for this trainer-driver combination, Kevin Miller, the trainer from Arthur, and again, he bases his stable at the Champaign County Fairgrounds, and your winning driver is Wyatt Avenatti. How about a hand for number 3, Vertical Speed? Daryl Miller, the co-owner in the white shirt, stands at the head of this horse. There's Kevin Miller, the trainer, walking alongside of driver Wyatt Avenatti. The winner, bred by Victory Lane Standard Breds, a $13,500 graduate of the Illini Classic Yearling Sale, and a 3-year-old gelded son of Stevensville. 2:01 3/5 the time for the mile. This pacer has now won 2 in a row. Went wire to wire at the Macoupin County Fair at Carlinville just a few nights ago, and goes right to the front and leads virtually the entire way again here today.
Come and enjoy their daily specials on food and drink. Having a party? Check out Los Rancheros for catering your next event or gathering. Los Rancheros, authentic Mexican restaurant. 408 Quincy Road, Mount Sterling. Call 217-773-7800.
When I started at DOT, I realized I could make a career out of this. It's just amazing the people you get to interact with when you get here. It's a family atmosphere for me. One of my main jobs is talking to people, trying to understand what's going on, where they're at in life, what they're needing from me to get their job done. I've met so many people, and it's been a real blessing to be a part of all that. Big company in a small town, that's a fact. When my life needed growth, I chose DOT, and I never
Own a little and love it a lot. The Stable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1%. 100% of the thrill. The Stable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at thestable.ca.
Timewell Drainage Products is a locally owned family company that has provided incredible employment opportunities in the area for over 40 years. Our constantly growing company is always looking for dynamic individuals who want to be part of an innovative, fast-paced team. To join our team, visit us online at timewellpipe.com. Timewell Drainage Products, a
Okay, back with you as we get ready for race 8. 4 races to go in this card today.
And I'm going to jump on you real quick with some talk from the backstretch. Our YouTube chat has some action that I haven't got to yet, so we want to go ahead and give
you can probably go ahead and do that. Let me see your sheet for your drivers, and I'll make driver changes.
Driver changes on race 8. Well, I was going to use my sheet to get my shout-outs. There's nothing in race 8. Race 8's clean.
Race 8's clean?
Yeah.
There's 2 Darla.
Well, that was one that I didn't have. That was Jamaica's on one of them. I didn't remember which one. So okay. I didn't get that.
I'll find out while you talk about this.
Okay. I want to go ahead and give a shout-out to Brian Warning watching up in Michigan. He said he misses watching racing up in Michigan, and we want to sympathize with Brian. Michigan has a good history, too, when it comes to harness racing. You know, guys in the more recent history like Ridge Warren and Travis Siegman and Tim Roach coming out of Michigan, you know, friends of the Illinois program. We want to thank them and thank Brian for watching up there. And a shout out, Herman Wheeler's watching down south. Herman Wheeler used to be a horseman that came up to Illinois every year, had a nice stable. I wanted to congratulate Leroy on the big win, so we want to thank Herman for watching. The big dog is watching us down there. We have Orville here, the chat. Orville, we appreciate you helping us with the buffering. We were just doing our best with the technical difficulties. We have some issues, with things buffering and connections. And as we were just saying during that race, Steve and I were talking off camera, and we said, when at all possible, we need to hardwire everything, because if it's wireless, it's bound to fail or give you a fit at some point. So, Orville, we appreciate you helping us out, and we appreciate you watching along and following along with today's races. Is Steve ready for race 8? I'll handicap it if you're got the correction. I don't know which one Jamaica was driving, but Jamaica's driving one of Darla's, right?
He's driving the 1.
See?
Betting on you, that is the one he is driving.
Jamaica Patton on the 1 horse race 8.
And so let's talk about the picks here. Lisa and I picked the 3-horse, Shady Maple Becky, with Wyatt Avenatti. Got a first down at Carlinville. And has been at Carlinville, Wyatt was hot.
He was.
I mean, in
he
5 or
was.
6
like
races, he
yeah.
won down. Won half of the races down there.
He did. To be the outcast, I had to go with the 4, Modern Luxury. That horse is owned and bred by Dr. Patrick Graham, a veterinarian up in Lockwood, Iowa, trained and driven by Clay Simpson. And as far as the Simpson trotting folks as you can come in the state of Illinois, I have a lot of confidence in Clay's ability, but I have a lot of confidence in that last quarter at Martinsville. This 2-year-old filly trotter rocked home in 28-4 to win that race when we were down there, and that stuck in my memory. I didn't forget that. So when this race came back around, we saw Clay back in. I said, I'm picking that horse on top.
Okay. I picked it for the second spot. You picked the 3-horse that I picked, Shady Maple Becky, for second. Lisa went away from all of us. Trixie's Sugar Baby. And had a good outing at Martinsville. And so she picked that one second. You picked that as a third-place horse.
This race is wide open, folks. We have a 2-year-old filly pace, 5-head. I mean, 3 of them are good horses. Trixie Sugar Baby went on down the track and got beat in neck at Martinsville by the Modern Luxury. And you mentioned Shady Maple Becky. We saw win at Carlinville and a good second at Carrollton. Tustation, I'm not sure how to say that name. We'll figure it out by the end of the year. But a good solid second at Carlinville. I mean, the only horse that doesn't have a start has your guy Jamaica Patton in the bike. So it's hard to overlook him as well, or her as well.
Hey, and I picked the betting on you to finish third. You picked the Trixie Sugar Baby. Lisa went with the Tustation.
I will have to ask Jerome what he calls that horse, because I don't know. Yeah. Tustation, Teaton, I don't know. I'm thinking the mom is Tia Marie Cosmos, so I'm going to start leaning on the Tia. I don't know how to...
Teaton?
With the Tuss, it's got to be Sutton backwards, right? S-U-T-T-U-S? I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out here before long.
Teaton, we'll call it.
As they get ready to go to the gate, we'll put Kurt back up, and when he comes back...
Horses are on the track and parading to the post. Race 8, the Illinois Big Ten Colt Stakes 2-year-old filly trot, the Jack Whiteside Memorial. Let's meet the starters. Number 1 is Betting on You, owned by Larry Longnecker of Sumner, trained by Darla Martin Lohman. Contrary to the program, the driver Jamaica Patton. Number 2 is Trixie Sugar Baby, owned by Chuck Doring of Brownstown, owned by Darla Martin Lohman of Effingham. Darla is the trainer-driver. Number 3, Shady Maple Becky, owned by Wyatt and Lane and David Avenatti. So Wyatt and his brother Lane and their dad David. All of Chrisman own this trotter. David's the trainer, and son Wyatt is the driver. Number 4, Modern Luxury, owned by Dr. Patrick Graham of Lockridge, Iowa. Clay Simpson comes to us out of Fairfield, Illinois, and he is the trainer-driver of number 4, Modern Luxury. And number 5, Two's Teaton, owned, trained, and driven by Jerome Daniels of Springfield. Headed to the gate for today's 8th race. Remembering Jack Whiteside here in race 8. In fact, the speed office, the speed tower located just outside of the west turn, was named not long ago in honor and memory of Jack Whiteside, a Decatur-based horseman who was speed superintendent for a number of years. He was one of the individuals who helped establish the Illinois Stallion Stakes that were so popular here in the 1970s. And we got to thinking about Jack's career as a trainer-driver. I bet a lot of you remember those blue and yellow stable colors of his. If memory serves, I think he lived not far from the fairgrounds, so maybe just off that east turn, that first turn of the racetrack. But the summer of 1967, one of the greatest moments in the history of the Illinois State Fair Colt Stakes, in the 3-year-old filly trot, there was a filly from Kentucky that was the heavy favorite. And Jack Whiteside had a filly named Shapely Ann that he raced for himself and his brother Bill. And Shapely Ann sprung a big upset that day. It was before parimutuel wagering at the state fair, but everybody knew the filly from Kentucky was supposed to win, and Shapely Ann beat her in one heat that day. What a great moment that was for the Whiteside stable and for the Illinois Fair circuit. Remembering Jack Whiteside. Here they come. Race 8. They are off and trotting, and there goes Modern Luxury out for the lead. Trixie Sugar Baby is off stride, and Betting on You is off stride. Trixie Sugar Baby went on a break, and then Betting on You, who was starting to move up the inside lane, ran out of racetrack behind the breaking trotter and broke stride as well. And Shady Maple Becky broke stride midway on the first turn. So the field is scattered. Everybody's on their feet and fine, but now they're scrambling to catch up with the leader, Modern Luxury. Modern Luxury leads it by just over 3 lengths. Two's Teaton will go second as they go on by the quarter. Then a gap of 4 lengths back to Shady Maple Becky in third, moving around Trixie Sugar Baby in fourth, and Betting on You is fifth. 34-1 the time for the opening quarter. 34-1 fifth seconds. Modern Luxury made the top just after the start and has the lead here after 3/8 of a mile for Clay Simpson. And Modern Luxury, the lead though is dwindling. It had been 3 lengths, then 2, and now it's a length and a half. That's because Two's Teaton closing some ground, and Clay looks over his shoulder and now lets his filly Modern Luxury open back up a bit here. Steps on the gas and opens back up by 5 lengths. Two's Teaton second by 3 lengths. Shady Maple Becky is third. 106-2 for the first half mile. 106-2. Betting on You is up to the 4th position, still a dozen lengths off the lead. And after another break in stride, Trixie Sugar Baby is the distant trailer. Modern Luxury leads. This is a filly which won on debut at the fair at Martinsville on May 28th. That's her only prior start. Clay Simpson just cruising along here on the race bike with a quarter mile to go as Modern Luxury leads for Clay. Margin. Two's Teaton under some pressure for second. Shady Maple Becky's just off her flank. 139 flat the time at the 3/4, 139 flat. Around the final turn they go. It is Clay Simpson who shows the way with Modern Luxury. This filly looking to go 2 for 2 to start her young career. The lead was down to 8 lengths. Now it's back up to 10. And Modern Luxury has this race wrapped up. She will take the Jack Whiteside Memorial. Be a good battle for second. Well, it was until Betting on You broke stride. It will be Modern Luxury to win it, though. Modern Luxury won it by a margin of 14 lengths. Back to Two's Teaton across the wire in second. And then Betting on You was challenging for second, but regrettably broke stride in deep stretch. 2:11-3. 2:11 3/5. Modern Luxury, the winner. Recapping the fractions in race 8, it was 34-1 at the quarter. It was 106-2 at the half. 3/4 and 139, and the mile in 2:11 3/5. Reads down 3-5-4-1-2. We'll recap that rundown in just a moment. Modern Luxury, your winner. A lot of cicadas out and about this spring, and we have been visited by a few of our cicada friends here in the infield judges stand, and we're doing our best just to kind of let them enjoy this beautiful spring day along with the rest of us. Sometimes they crawl across the paperwork, and if you try to help them out, you'll give them a little nudge off the paperwork, and sometimes they get a little frustrated at you and flap those wings around. So you just try to let them. Right now, there's a cicada crawling up the barrel of the binoculars. So good to have our friends, the cicadas, here in the infield judges stand. The Jack Whiteside Memorial, members of the Whiteside family coming trackside. I'm wondering, is anybody in that group old enough to remember the trotting filly Shapely Ann? Yeah, several of you. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What a great day that was at the Illinois State Fair. Such fond memories of Jack Whiteside. And how about a hand for the winner? Number 4, Modern Luxury, Clay Simpson, your winning driver. Congratulations to owner-breeder Dr. Patrick Graham of Lock Ridge, Iowa. Clay Simpson of Fairfield, Illinois, trains and drives this 2-year-old filly by my man Stoney, who wins for the second time in as many starts. You know, Clay Simpson has a very special connection to this fair. His father, Buddy, who passed away last fall, Buddy Simpson was the winning trainer driver in the first ever Downstate Classic. Were you here that day, Clay? Yeah, he said, he looked over, he said, yeah, I was. We remember Clay's father, Buddy, who was a friend of Jack Whiteside, and the Whiteside family. Folks, it's great to see you. We always enjoy the chance to look back on Jack's career. Tell you the other one, when I was a kid, I used to love to go to the Midwest Speed Sale. Remember when they'd have those? Yes, our presiding judge, Randy Callahan, just said absolutely, because Jack Whiteside was part of that auction crew. And Jack would often conduct the tack and equipment sale, and then when the first horse came in the ring, he was a bid spotter, and there were bidders that liked Jack so well, they wanted to be in his section. There would be folks that would talk to Jack, and they'd say, what section are you working today? And then they would go and sit in his section because they wanted to bid to him. So, folks, great to see you, and it's always fun to reminisce about Jack Whiteside for sure. Here's the full field rundown. It's official for the 8th race. From the top, Betting on You was 3rd. Trixie Sugar Baby finished 5. Shady Maple Becky was 4. Modern Luxury the winner, and Two's Teaton was the runner-up. The quarter 34-1, the half 106-2, 3/4 and 139, the mile 211 and 3/5. Reads down 3-5, 4-1-2. Race 9 is coming up. A reminder in the 9th race. Your track program may very well have the number 1 horse listed as marginal choice, but that name has been changed. And just a reminder, the number 1 horse is now named Hidalgo Otis. Hidalgo. Hidalgo Otis is number 1. And again, you can change a name, Evan. You can change the name of a horse so long as that horse has not yet raced. Now, once, like today, after this horse is raced, that's it. No more name changes. But they just got the name change in right under the wire.
Back with you folks on Harness Tube. Hey, David, the nice thing about it is I don't want to jinx it, but we've got through several races without any glitches in the camera. I think you got it fixed. Got it fixed. And so, just a reminder, we made it to the 500 subscribers. We'd like to get to 1,000. If you want to be part of this $100 gift certificate drawing for where?
Designed by Dez, you know, we hit this 500 subscriber plateau around our first broadcast this year, and I think now we're up like 560.
I'm gonna
climbing quickly. If you want to get into this drawing, make sure to like, make sure to follow, make sure to subscribe, because we're gonna put everyone's name in the hat and pull out a $100 gift certificate to Design by Dez.
I'm gonna put pressure on you. We have 2 weeks off. So guess what? You gotta have it ready. We're gonna Cambridge. We're gonna draw at Cambridge.
When I get it locked up, we'll do the announcement on Facebook and say for sure we're gonna do the drawing live on air. But I want to make sure I get everyone's name in the hat. You know, I want to make sure I get the followers from Facebook and with the subscribers from YouTube and the likes. You know, if people do one or the other. So we're trying to get that all combined into one database. We'll get that done for you.
Okay. We'll put our side-by-side billboard sponsors up there. On Gate being a billboard sponsor this year, being part of it. You can do that also. Get in contact with David as part of that supports this endeavor of trying to bring you harness racing.
Wait, before you
Oh,
go,
hang on. You got
and drinks. Sorry. Make sure to subscribe and like to Harness to.
We'll get you back up there.
Okay.
And that was your kids, bud.
Yeah,
you were down, so nobody heard anything you had to say there.
I was just smiling, a proud dad over here to see him create that to help out Harness to try to get some subscriptions for us. He's so talented, so creative, has a mind for imagination to make that kind of stuff, and I'm going to put him to work pretty soon and make some content for us.
There you go. he can do some of the commercials
exactly.
for us. But as we get ready to have the call to the gate or call to the post, and as we get ready here, but again, 500 subscribers get in. We're going to draw that at Cambridge, so we want you in back with the track announcer.
Stakes the 2-year-old Colt and Gelding Trot for a purse of $3,226. Post parade will form up, and we'll meet the starters here in just a moment. No scratches, no driver changes in today's 9th race.
Did we yet? No.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Okay, we're cool.
Oh, no.
No, we didn't.
No.
We haven't talked about Hidalgo Otis yet.
Okay, let's talk about that horse.
It's been a competitive program so far.
Let's do our handicapping, David. In this race, you and Lisa picked a 2-horse Fox Valley Victor, a Freddie Junior Patton.
Yeah, June out there, he's been driving around these fairs. He knows he can hold a trotter together well. I look for that horse. One of the most consistent horses on the page in their limited starts, so that's where we went on top.
Did Freddie, did he used to race when they raced actual wagons with the horses?
Oh, I don't know about that. When I was a kid, he was always so young and strong. I told you guys today, like, Freddie's getting old. I don't know what happened. He's setting the age on me, but he's been up here for 20 years and been racing horses for, I don't know, 40 probably. He's been doing it a long time.
I picked the horse that they changed the name on. You guys all think that could possibly be a
overlook
change.
that horse. I'm telling you what,
Hildigo Otis.
Yeah, that dam sire bar hopping was a short-lived sire that really kind of put some good foals into the world before he passed away too early. But I like that blood. I like the fins. I like the connections. I don't know much about Amigo Ranger, limited foals there, but we have a short field. We have a county fair race. Let's just get some good exposure and try to race home.
Now, we just flip-flopped first and second between you and Lisa and I, but everybody picked the Shady Maple Becker as the third-place horse.
When the horse who has done everything but finished third in both starts, you got to pick for third, don't you?
Yeah, Fox Valley's had a second and third, and we have no idea what the other horse is.
We got to be consistent, so...
And it's Monkey C.
Interesting.
Didn't get any votes at all.
Remember when we were talking earlier, we had a show-stopping monkey horse that was on the pace. I think I picked finished third. Now we're seeing another show-stopping monkey horse, this time on the trot. It's Monkey C. We'll be racing on the trot for these connections for Jacob Radel owner. That's a cool name. It's Monkey C, Monkey Do. I just now caught that.
Well, I was just going to say, if this horse and the other horse are very successful, one of the full off of that should be called Monkey See, Monkey Do.
Monkey See, Monkey Do. That's a cool name, a cool sire with unlimited naming options. You can go off. That's cool. We'll see what comes out of that up and coming sire here in the state.
You could name it Hey Hey Monkey.
Hey,
hey,
we're
it's
the monkeys.
The monkeys. Yeah.
People say we monkey around.
Yeah. Track announcer with that.
In the 9th of our 11 races. A big show coming up tonight, 7 o'clock, the starting time. The Ground Pounders are here to give you a great show tonight. Right now, here they come. Race 9, top of the stretch, the Rick Walker Memorial, ready to go. They are off and trotting, and there goes Fox Valley Victor out for the It's Monkey C comes away in third, and Hidalgo Otis is away in fourth, and all four of these trotters, so far so good, all are staying right on gate on the trot around the first turn as they head for the back. Fox Valley Victor, who leads it now by a length and a half. Shady lane in the second position. It's Monkey C is racing in third. Hidalgo Otis is racing in fourth as they go on by the quarter-mile mark. Fox Valley Victor on top. Fox Valley Victor leads it by 2 lengths. Shady Maple Becker second, 35 seconds for the opening quarter. 3/5 seconds. So around that west side of the course they go here in race 9, and Fox Valley Victor. Maple Becker takes to the outside. So here comes a challenge for the lead. Let's see if there's a change for the year-old trotters in the Big Ten. You've got Fox Valley Victor still leading it by a half length, and Shady Maple Becker second up on the outside. 109 and 3 for the first half mile. 109 and 3. There's a gap of some Monkey C in third, and then a gap of better than 10 lengths back to Hidalgo Otis in the fourth position. Onto the backstretch they go. Fox Valley Victor is the leader. Fox Valley Victor is on top. It opens Maple Becker in second, then a gap of 5 more lengths back to It's Monkey C, and then a margin of another dozen lengths back to Hidalgo Otis. 142 and 2. 1 minute 42 and I think each trainer is going to be pleased with their horses. The main thing is just get these young horses some racing experience, get them around the track. Maple Becker still trying to catch Fox Valley Victor, but the finish line's coming. There's still a length and a half between them. Fox Valley Victor hanging on. Fox Valley Victor had it measured just right, won it by a length and a half. Shady Maple Becker lengths back to It's Monkey C in third, and Hidalgo Otis was fourth. 2:13 and 2/5. The time for the mile, 2 minutes 13 and 2/5 seconds.
Hey, Tara A., this is the second time today that we've had a twofer winner. It's kind of like voting early and voting often. This is say, congratulations, Tara. You can come collect your $5.
All right, David, we got a chance to talk for a couple of minutes till Kurt gets in our ears again. And, boy,
gotta get. Everyone should be proud of their horses there. We stayed flat in a 2-year-old trot, 2-year-old colt trot. You know, we were strung out, but sometimes just getting gate and then getting a clean mile is your goal. And if we had a nice race that everyone stayed flat, you know, sometimes it's little wins. You find silver linings to race the next day and live on.
Yep.
Well, this will make a training and driving double for Lily Bella, and scores his second win on the card, this time in the Rick Walker Memorial with Fox Valley Victor, owned by Perry Tillman of Bolton, Mississippi, and bred by the Fox Valley Standardbreds of Sherman, Illinois, of Dr. Kenneth and Patricia Walker, the winning trotter, a 2-year-old son of Can't Afford It. This was a $3,000 yearling purchase. And looks today like that was a very astute purchase. How about a hand for the winner, number 2, Fox Valley Victor? The Rick Walker Memorial Blanket. About several members of the Patton family are here today, and that includes Freddie Patton Jr.'s father, who is looking on from up at the top of the stretch. Mr. Patton Sr., a few days ago, observed his 83rd birthday. Some health issues of late, but he was with us for the racing at DuQuoin a few days ago, and it's wonderful to see Mr. Freddie Patton Sr. in the barn area here today. Father, our absolute best, sir. Thank you. Here's the full field rundown from the 9th race. The quarter 35 and 3. The half 109 and 3/5. 3 quarters 142 and 2/5. The time for the mile and 2/5. Reach down 4-1-2-3. To race 10, it is the Illinois Big Ten 3-year-old filly trot, the Larry Barnett Memorial. Just a reminder, the driver of number 1 True Fortune, Wyatt Avenetti. Wyatt Avenetti drives number Evan Hall.
Again, our terrific track crew who really got thrown in. I'm sure you've seen on the news. They came out here with a much smaller time window and still got things together in a very, very tight, timely fashion. We're very proud of them. Thank you again to all of our officials, to yourself, Kurt, and much. And always a special thank you to really the heart of, we know it here in downstate Illinois, Leanne Shin. We want to give a special thank you to you. Really does a lot of the behind the scenes things that people don't realize to make these races go, and we certainly want to recognize her as well. If you're interested in harness racing, if this is your first call the fair office, come racing. We will tell you more about it.
All right, as we get ready for the next race day, let's take a look at our picks for that as we're in
I'm going to stop you real quick
You are.
because, I have to make a comment here. We had this nice, great shot Lisa has of the Pattons down there in coming out of turn 4. You know, talk about fair memories, hanging out under those trees in the shade on a nice. We just heard Kurt talk about Freddie Patton Sr. being down there in the wheelchair. You can see him. Freddie Patton Jr.'s dad, that guy's been up here. He came up in the 90s in racing horses in Illinois from Mississippi. And I want to give a little nod of the cap here to his son, Freddie Patton Jr. This is today, and he's done it the way I would want my trainer driver to do it. He's improved these horses. He's won with 2 2-year-olds that in their first start finished third, finished second. Their third start, he went on down the road and let them open up their throttle and race their own race and got the win. You know, and the maturity is something that's a testament to that man right there. You know, Freddie Patton Sr. taught these boys everything they know. And one of my favorite fairs driving against some of these young guns. So, you know, a big congratulations.
All right. Again, great shots by Lisa Surratt.
She does awesome, Steve. She does awesome.
Doing the job out there, no matter what.
Ground.
That's right. Let's take a look at this next to last race here for the day. 11 on the card for at the horses themselves. Wyatt Avenetti on the 1 horse, True Fortune, and well, you know, I like Los Esmeralda. I mean, I like that horse.
You made a good point with Chris Brown. Lose Esmeralda sat on Hocus Pocus and Focus last race, popped the pocket, went on by. I can't blame you for that pick at all. You know, just a little. We've seen that other horse be too good, but you know the 3 and the 4 are going to be tough.
And then Lisa, she thought Mr. Franco.
She was hoping for those coming out of Chicago.
Yeah, that's what she was hoping for there. And then you picked Jerome Daniels' horse for third. Lisa picked Luz Esmeralda.
And there's something to be said for Jerome's horse. You know, I like consistency. I like seeing a driver cool as a cucumber and, you know, taking care of their horse and their mind. Of taking care of his horses. He owns most of his horses himself. You know, he's got an invested interest in keeping sure that horse is around for the next race. He's patient. He's calm. Horseman. I have no problem using Jerome Daniels in my trifectas every so often. I like throwing him in there every once in a while.
Well, and the thing I like under each, you know, you look at the horse's lineage.
Yeah.
You look at that a lot. You know deeper.
I am a breeding nut. I can't.
What that is, and I'm not even going to go there. But I'm intrigued by Jerome Daniels. Can't afford it, and Red Hot Italian
Out of Guccio.
Guccio.
Yeah, Guccio was a sire that stood and is throwing some babies now. And we're seeing one of his daughters get bred here to Can't Afford It. Doc Walker's trotting study he stood a handful of years ago. But we're seeing the breeding lines kind of pop back up in Illinois. There was a time when Illinois breds would be a hot commodity across the country. You'd see Cole mufflers racing all across the country in North America and would bring a price for that. So we like to see the Illinois breeding program bounce back up and reward some of our breeders in the state for all they do in raising these babies.
Filly trot for a purse of just over $2,800. The Larry Barnett Memorial, number 1 True Fortune, owned by Milton Greer of Jackson, Tennessee, trained by Leroy Hunt, the driver Wyatt Avenetti. By the way, True Fortune was 3rd here yesterday in the Downstate Classic. Number 2 Mississippi Model was 4th in her division of the Downstate Classic yesterday over this same racetrack for owner, trainer, driver Jerome Daniels. 3 Hocus Pocus and Focus, owned by Ron Phillips of Athens, Jamaica Patton of Rochester, Jamaica, the trainer, driver. And 4 Luz Esmeralda, owned by Flacco Family Farms LLC of Dr. Richard and Arlene Flacco and Rick and Tabby Flacco of Alexis, trained by Jill Brown, the driver, Chris Brown. At the post, the gate is rolling. We remember Larry Barnett, man who owned and trained and drove harness horses. He was also a pharmacist. That was his full-time profession. And when he had time, he loved to get out to the fairs and go racing, and always seemed to be in a good mood, always had a smile. We were thinking about some of the horses he raced over the years, like Mr. Ben B. and Chief Carey and Ms. Annabelle B. and Landis Taylor. Right now, here they come, race 10, the Larry Barnett Memorial. They are off and trotting. There goes True Fortune. Out for the early lead with Hocus Pocus and Focus away in second. Luz Esmeralda comes away in third, and Mississippi Model is fourth. Luz Esmeralda broke stride. Luz Esmeralda broke stride after coming into today off a win at the Macoupin County Fair just a few nights ago. But after that break in stride, Luz Esmeralda, the distant trailer. Up the backstretch they go. True Fortune, the leader, and True Fortune has the lead out to 3 lengths. Hocus Pocus and Focus will go second. Then there's a gap of 3.5 more lengths back to Mississippi Model in third, and a margin of 8 more lengths back of that one. Luz Esmeralda is fourth. 30 and 2/5 for the opening quarter. Good solid opening quarter for these 3-year-old trotters. 30 and 2/5 seconds. True Fortune sets the tempo. True Fortune, after 3/8 of a mile, has a 5-length lead. Hocus Pocus and Focus goes second by 3 to Mississippi Model in third, and then a gap of 7 more lengths back to Luz Esmeralda, trying to catch up with the field after breaking stride in that east turn shortly after the start. Halfway home in the Larry Barnett Memorial, True Fortune continues to lead for Wyatt Avenetti with a 4-length margin. A minute, 1/5. Good solid pace here in this 10th race. A minute and 1/5 of a second for that first half mile. So True Fortune takes the field over to the backstretch, 5/8 of a mile complete now. The gap is still 3 lengths back to Hocus Pocus and Focus, second by just over 3. Mississippi Model struggling to keep up in third, and then a gap of 4 more lengths back of that one. Luz Esmeralda is last of the 4, and the leader's already rolling on past the 3/4 to the final turn. True Fortune continues to lead. 1:31 and 4, the time for the 3/4 mile mark. 1:31 and 4. It is True Fortune off the final turn to the top of the stretch, has the margin out to better than 15 lengths as they turn for home. Hocus Pocus and Focus second, Mississippi Model third, Luz Esmeralda fourth. There is no catching. True Fortune is going to be a driving triple for Wyatt Avenetti. The hat trick, his 3rd win on the card, and this time winning with the good filly, True Fortune. The margin was nearly 20 lengths back to Hocus Pocus and Focus, who was runner-up, as Hocus Pocus and Focus did grab second, but was well behind the leader. Then further back, you had Mississippi Model in third, and Luz Esmeralda was fourth. Time for the mile. 2:04 and 4/5 of a second. 2:04 and 4/5.
And your race number 10, pick a winner. Winner is Doris Shookman. Doris Shookman, please come.
Okay, as they do the pick a winner here, Dave, we all kind of blew that
Was
one,
that
didn't
Lisa?
we?
Someone picked White, didn't they? Maybe not.
Oh, she picked him to be second.
Okay, well, that horse went right on down the track. And if you White had his hands full. Looked like he was kind of locked on that thing, just leaning back, trying to get it to relax as much as possible. But was a ton the best today. A ton.
And 2 wins today for Milton Greer as owner. How about a hand for the winner of race 10? Number 1, True Fortune. True Fortune was bred by Kenny Chupp of Tuscola. This filly, an $8,000 graduate of the Illini Classic yearling sale. We've seen a lot of sale graduates winning here over the last couple of days from both the Land of Lincoln sale in Sherman and the Illini Classic sale at Springfield. There's the Larry Barnett Memorial Blanket being presented down trackside. Again, our thanks to our Sheriff Jim Root, who's been here throughout the course of the day, assisting Evan Hall with those presentations. And a good day for Wyatt Avanetti with his 3rd win on the card. True Fortune raced here yesterday and finished 3rd in the Downstate Classic. That trotting filly trotted yesterday in 2:07 and 3 and comes back and trots nearly 3 seconds faster today and wins in the Illinois Big Ten Colt Stakes in the Larry Barnett Memorial. And again, so many wonderful horses that the Barnett stable raced over the years. Mr. Ben B, that was their homebred that won 34 races. Ms. Annabelle B, 15 wins. And how about, we had the Leroy Moyer Memorial yesterday. How about this one? I wonder if folks remember the day that Leroy Moyer, the trainer of Chief Carey, he trained that horse for Larry Barnett and took Chief Carey to the Illinois State Fair and pulled a 9-1 upset. And we've talked about it throughout the course of yesterday and again today. Harness racing roots run so deep in Macon County, and how many times have we seen that over the years when Macon County horses would go to the state fair and win? And on that occasion, it was Leroy Moyer, the trainer for owner Larry Barnett. Well, here's the full field rundown for that 10th race. From the top, True Fortune was the winner. Mississippi Model was 3rd. Hocus Pocus and Focus was the runner-up, and Luz Esmeralda finished 4th. The quarter, 30 and 2/5 seconds. The half in a minute, 1/5. 3/4, 1:31 and 4/5. The time for the mile, 2:04 and 4/5 of a second. Reads down 1:3.24. 11th and final race is on the way. It's the Robert Bob Wickline Memorial. The 3-year-old Colden Gelding trot in the Big Ten. A reminder, the driver of number 3, Luz Gambler, will be Chris Brown. Chris Brown drives number 3. Luz Gambler was 3rd here yesterday in the Downstate Classic. Luz Gambler 3rd here yesterday in the Downstate Classic with a beaten time of 2:07 and 2. Number 5, Dashing Durango, will be driven by Jordan Patton. Jordan Patton drives the 5. Dashing Durango was 4th in his division of the Downstate Classic yesterday, and his beaten time was 2:05 and 2. Number 5, Dashing Durango, 4th with a beaten time of 2:05 and 2 in his division of the Downstate Classic. And number 6, Chip Off the Block. We owe you a past performance line there. Chip Off the Block raced on the 1-mile track at the DuQuoin State Fairgrounds on Thursday afternoon, finishing 7th with a beaten time of 2:03 and 3/5.
Back with you on Harness Tube as we get ready for the last race of the day as we get things going here. Great day of racing. Lisa's got a shot of the barn there, or one of the barns. That's a great shot as she works to try to give us some fair type of shots.
My back?
Yeah, you're.
We're good. I'm talking to people in here, so we're good.
Okay. And so with that, as we get ready here for the final race of the day, David, any final thoughts as we get ready? Because we'll just do our schedule at the end of it and kind of close things out rather quickly.
First off, I want to thank Stephen Lawson for watching. He's in the YouTube chat thanking us for all of our hard work. And some people do understand how much hard work goes into this, and we thank you for tuning in. We appreciate all you do. And last thoughts, it's been another good day. We appreciate everyone bearing with us in their patience while we work with technical difficulties. It's been a fun ride, and I can't state how the fans are so forgiving, and they're appreciative of us just being here doing this, that when these things pop up, it's a fire for us, but we put it out and get back on the air as best we can, and, hopefully unfortunately, we missed some big moments. We admit that. But for the most part, we have a pretty good coverage, and we're appreciative of everyone being so patient with us while we worked out today's broadcast. I thought it was a pretty good broadcast today, guys. I mean, here we are. Lisa's getting good shots. We're cleaning up some of our stuff we've been talking about.
Yeah, absolutely, and some feedback, other some glitches. I mean, you're going to have those with that, and that happens. And but it's been a beautiful day for racing, and again, we get the kinks worked out of this.
As soon as we get one kink worked out, we have ideas for new kinks. We got Stephen Clemens in the chat talking about like a GoPro on a sulky, and you know what? I've seen some professionals do that, and not in live video broadcasts. They do it in post-production type stuff, but it doesn't mean it's impossible. It just takes a lot of thinking how to make it all work. And
and the only thing I'll say with that is we haven't got all the kinks worked out of the stuff that we have control over.
I've been wanting to do a stationary camera, maybe with a PTZ we can control with a remote or whatever, to get some blind spots. So we have ideas to add more cameras and to add some cool concept camera shots. It's just kind of tough to get all the first and foremost. We want to put out a good production. We want to make sure that what we're putting on live on air shows the horse races with the horse information to the
you want to
fans.
go out there and get the blind spot and put the 360 out there. You get a power supply out there to that crane. It's got the flag on it, and you put it at the very top of it.
Oh,
and
there you go.
You just circle out of that, David.
Perfect. We'll just drop a camera off that ball of the crane and 360 coverage.
Yeah.
High enough.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, we saw that drone here today. You joked about getting that on there.
You're going to be the drone guy, not me.
I don't know anything about drones, but I do know that if one of our advertisers, the stable.ca, Anthony McDonald's brother does a lot of drone work and broadcasting of their training races.
The drone could follow.
Yeah, he does it. I'm telling you what, if you get on YouTube, check out The Stable. I can't remember their channel's name, but he broadcasts their training miles and, kind of his thoughts on how the miles went for the horse and everything. But they do an absolute great coverage from a drone shot. His brother does an awesome job producing that. It gives us ideas of stuff we want to try in the future when we get there.
Yeah, but the time that it takes to set up and all that stuff, and you actually have a job, so.
Right. We're talking about getting to places we can't get to, and unfortunately my job takes me away from some of these fairs. But
okay. All right, with that, let's look at this last race here. Lisa went different than you and I both. She went with Dashing Durango, and Dashing Durango has had a good start this year as far as racing's concerned. Had the one little glitch that was last
coming off
year.
2 wins, and
Martinsville, yeah.
Coming off 2 wins, when you look at Jill Brown, Doc Renard, that people from Illinois have seen Steve Renard racing these trotters at the fairs, and he has one of the highest driving percentage in the country year after year. He used to drive just his own horses and had a high, 80% win rate or something ridiculous like that. So, those horses are ready to race, and Jill does a good job keeping them ready for him. And we got Jordan in the bike now, so that's an all right pick.
And we can't ignore.
I can't fault her there.
You and I both picked Dooleyville Lou. I mean, had a great finish to last year and a good start to this year. You really can't complain about that horse.
No.
Lisa picked that horse for second. We picked her horse for second.
Yeah.
And so a little switch. Everybody went their own way on the third pick here, though. Lisa went with Loose Gambler, going to be driven by Chris Brown today. You went with the 4-horse, a lot of grit.
Mm-hmm.
And I went with the 2-horse, the Storm Warrior. And I don't know why I went with that horse, to be honest. Other than you look, and there's
because
a lot of
owner
thirds.
breeder is our starting gate starter today. So, like I said, a good consistent horse sometimes is you can rely on them to get a check, and sometimes that's pretty valuable. Dooleyville Lou here, that horse, as Kurt does a great job pointing out. That horse has really been coming into form at the right time. Had 2 wins last year, 2 for 2 this year. So it's really stepped up as he matured into a 3-year-old. And Randy's talking about Harold H. Finn does a great job. I think he was a Fagan too, if I'm not mistaken. So knows how to handle a horse absolutely. That horse is bred well and owned by a huge fan of ours, Randall Dooley in Hidalgo. That's down. We've seen Hidalgo Otis and now Randall Dooley from Hidalgo, but. That horse is something I'm going to keep an eye on the rest of the year, not just at the fairs, but when a horse gets confident, when a horse gets right, when things are going their way, big things can happen. So that horse is doing things, developed as a 2-year-old, racing good as a 3-year-old. I'm going to follow him as long as I can.
Yeah, and I look at this, that Dooleyville Lou raced, let's see.
If you look at
the
the page,
Storm Warrior in that race in Carlinville, and also again in the race in Martinsville. And so those horses have been in the same race quite a bit there, as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, and every driver has their idea of what they want to do differently to get the win. Do you want to try to maybe park that horse in the turn and make them use their brush off the gate? So, all these drivers know each other so well. It's interesting to see how these races unfold. One decision by one driver may blow up 3 guys' plans,
Yeah,
So
we saw that the other day.
Yeah, someone throws a wrench in the works. Next thing you know, everyone has a new plan and have to figure out what to do. So
it's an off step, and it just trickles down through the track.
It's a domino effect so bad. That's why it's so important to keep our safety on these tracks. These horsemen get so much credit for what they do controlling these animals in tight quarters, in split-second decisions. If you've never sat behind a horse, folks, if you've never sat behind a horse going 30 miles an hour in the open air, and you're making decisions not about your horse, you're making decisions about what happens in the horse in front of you. It can be a lot. So these horsemen do a great job keeping everybody safe and putting on a good show for us.
As they have the call to the gate, we'll go back to the track announcer.
I did that on
Kurt
purpose.
Becker.
Horses are on the track for our 11th and final race on this Illinois Big Ten Colt Stakes Day at the Macon County Fair. Been great to have you with us, folks, and we hope you'll stick around and enjoy the ITPA truck and tractor pull coming up here this evening. Anytime you talk to fans of motorsports, they will refer to these machines as ground pounders. In many cases, they're kind of like drag racers, just the sheer horsepower and the way you'll feel the ground shake under your feet, and it makes for a tremendous show. So I want to wish everyone who's here to compete tonight, we wish you all a safe and fun evening, and enjoy it. And folks, we hope you'll come out tonight at 7 o'clock. Let's meet the starters for Race 11, the Robert Bob Wickline Memorial, the Big Ten 3-year-old Colton Gelding Trot. Number 1, Dooleyville Lou, owned by Randall Dooley of Hidalgo, trained and driven by Harold Finn Jr. 2, De Storm Warrior, owned by Stacy and Deborah DeRoos of Charleston, trained and driven by Jill Brown. 3, Lou's Gambler, owned by the Flacco family farms of Alexis, trained by Jill Brown. Chris Brown is in the bike. 4, Lotta Grit, owned by Chuck Doring of Brownstown, trained and driven by Darla Martin Lohman. 5, Dashing Durango is owned by Dr. Stephen Rennard of Hamilton, the trainer Jill Brown, contrary to the program, the driver Jordan Patton. And number 6, Chip Off the Block, owned, trained, and driven by Matt Avenatti of Crispin. Someone pointed out to us earlier today that Matt actually bases his stable in Windsor, and that is where he spends the majority of his time, but for official purposes, still listed as from Crispin, Illinois, and of course he's a native of that town in Edgar County. Folks, if you've had a good time, and as someone who grew up in the sport of harness racing and is so grateful to see the way racing has been brought back in the recent years at the Macon County Fair, if you enjoy racing, now would be a great time to let your fair president, Evan Hall, and your fair board know, have you had a good time at the races here today? Well, that is fantastic, and we concur. It's been so much fun, as it always is here at the Macon County Fair. So much tradition and history at this racetrack, at this fair for the sport of harness racing. It's been great to have you with us for the 2024 edition. Right now, they are at the post. Gate is rolling. We get ready for the 11th and final race. Up next for the Big Ten Circuit, racing at the Jasper County Fair at Newton, Monday, June 24th, Tuesday, June 25th, post time 6:30 p.m. each evening. Right now, here they come, race 11. problems for Chip Off the Block, who's off stride at the start. The rest are off and trotting. There goes a lot of grit. A lot of grit goes out for the early lead, and a lot of grit is off stride. A lot of grit is on a break after grabbing the lead, leaving the starting gate. Darla Martin Lohman alertly moves to the perimeter of the turn, allows everyone else to file by safely to the inside. Lose Gambler takes the lead. Dashing Durango is right alongside of that horse. Now Dashing Durango takes over, and here comes the Storm Warrior moving up a closer third. So at the quarter-mile mark, it is Dashing Durango who leads it by a length and a half. Lose Gambler in second to Storm Warrior third. Dooleyville Lewis fourth. Lotta Grit is fifth. 30 and 1/5 to the opening quarter, 30 and a fifth, and it's better than 25 more lengths back to Chip Off the Block, who is the trailer, and Lose Gambler is off stride. Lose Gambler is on a break after being part of that early mix at the front of the field. Lose Gambler now drops back and is a distant fifth, still off stride, and some 20 to 25 lengths from the front of the field now. At the front, Dashing Durango leads. Dashing Durango, Jordan Patton on top of length to Storm Warrior second, a length and a half to Dooleyville Lou in third. 102 and 3 was the time. 102 and 3/5. Lot of Grit is another 8 lengths back off stride once again on the east side of the course in fourth. Then a margin of 25 more lengths to Lose Gambler and Chip Off the Block at the back. Now Dooleyville Lou's getting ready to move, folks. That trotter made a spectacular 3-wide move at the fair at Martinsville when he opened his season with a win there. Won't have to go 3 wide this time, but he is double wide and moving up into second, but still has to catch the leader, Dashing Durango, and there's 2 lengths between them. 135 flat was the time at the 3/4, 135 flat. Dashing Durango is going to be a stubborn foe and has the lead back out to 3.5 lengths turning for home. A lot of Grits off stride again, so Dooleyville Lou is second and running out of time here. Now Jordan Patton gets after Dashing Durango just to keep him alert and keep him focused, and that's going to work, and he's going to win. Dashing Durango wins it here and hands Dooleyville Lou his first loss of the season. 3 lengths separated them across the wire. Dooleyville Lou was second, did make up actually a lot of ground, had to pick his way through some traffic early, lost some ground, and did well to come back and be second. Further back, the Storm Warrior was third, Lot of Grit was fourth, Lose Gambler was fifth, the Chip Off the Block sixth. 2:06 and 1, the time for the mile, 2:06 and 1. We'll meet the winner, and we'll play Pick a Winner in just a moment. Recapping the fractions from that 11th race, 30 and a fifth at the quarter, 102 and 3 at the half, 3/4 in 135, mile 2:06 and a fifth.
Your race 11 Pick-A-Winner winner is Karen Bourne. Karen Bourne, come on down here and collect your $5. You are the Pick-A-Winner winner. Congratulations.
Well, we'll do some cleanup here while Kurt Becker is taking a break here, but we want to let you know Cambridge, it'll be 2 weeks from Sunday.
Yep.
Is when we'll be
tomorrow, right?
Yeah, 2 weeks from tomorrow. We'll be at Cambridge. David and his mom hopefully are going to go up there. Lisa and I'll slide in after we get done. Short sermon by the pastor that week would be really good.
If you keep it a brevity, it would help us a little bit there. If you keep it under 2 minutes.
Yeah. But
that's our race mind. We think of 2-minute sections.
Lisa and I will be gliding our way up there to see how quickly we can get there.
We appreciate everyone's patience. We will be on the air in Cambridge. I promise somehow. It may be a little different, maybe a little uglier, but we'll get it going.
Guys, I told him I'll be in the car. I can troubleshoot anything. I just can't physically look at it.
We'll make it work something. I'll video chat you if I have to. Don't worry.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see what happens there. But finish up to this race today, Dashing Durango.
Congratulations to the connections. You know, we talked about Doc Steve Renard. He used to train down at the Brown County with us, and we had his horses. And congratulations to Jordan Patton picking up the drive and doing a great job. The horsemen may not, or those of you who are not horsemen may not realize that when Jordan saw Dooleyville Lou coming at 3/4 pole, he jumped out as much as he could to try to put distance between him and that advancing horse, so that when that horse turned for home, it had an insurmountable task. And Jordan did a great job keeping that horse through the live early fractions. tip of the hat to Jordan on that one.
Yeah. Lisa actually got the 1-2. She did not get the 3.
You picked the Storm Warrior to finish third, didn't you?
I did. I finished that
course.
Yeah,
Jill Brown, a nice, consistent, easy mile. You stay chill, you get money.
Yep. And have been third. That second is an upgrade again. What you talk about?
Yeah. Stay flat, get money. You should name a horse that. Stay flat, get money.
All right. With that, we're going to see you in Cambridge, and we'll pick back up in a couple of weeks, and then we go one a week for a couple of weeks, and then all heck is going to break loose.
It does, but we'll get due.
All right. With that, David Brink, Steve Surratt saying goodbye. God bless, and
we'll see you at the races.
See you at the races. With that, goodbye.